7th-ranked Georgia Military College, fresh off a 65-zip win over Central Georgia Tech, taking on the number 13 Lackawanna squad, who lost to Snow in a tight one just about 7 days ago. And in a season in which it appears that there's a good possibility everybody in the NJCAA is going to absorb at least a loss, there may not be that many teams absorbing a second loss that get into the Final Four. So today, a big game as the Bulldogs take on the Falcons. Your coverage being brought to you by CBiz, the Borden Perlman Sports, Enos Legal, the auto accident firm. After the game, you're going to want to go to the Pickle Barrel. And while you're there, you might enjoy a Coca-Cola on a hot September afternoon. Any bugs in the house? Then there's who to call. Bug House Pest Control. Well, we hope you don't need them, but if you do, they're the best in the business. Orthopedic specialists at Ortho Georgia. And, of course, we couldn't do it without Georgia Military College. And speaking of the college, a reminder, the fundraiser is still going on for the athletic department. Scan the QR code or go to the website, really anywhere that's got Georgia Military College, and you can find out more as to how you can help the athletic program here. Lackawanna Falcons, GMC, the Bulldogs. Our conversation with Rob Manchester, head coach of Georgia Military College, coming up.
Duty, honor, country. Those are the words we live by at Georgia Military College as we aim to instill patriotism in our students as they develop into effective leaders and engaged citizens. Whether you're looking for a traditional college experience with intercollegiate athletics and Corps of Cadets, satellite campuses close to home, or a global online leadership college where you pursue your degree when it's convenient for you, the pathways to opportunities are endless at Georgia Military College. We are committed to helping you succeed as a student in the classroom, as an athlete on the field of competition, as a cadet leading your peers, or as a student online. At Georgia Military College, you can start here, go anywhere.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby. You got me falling hard for you. And still, I felt this way before. You know it's true. And still, you got me more and more. Oh, you got me falling hard.
It is time for our pregame conversation with Rob Manchester, head coach of Georgia Military College. Again, how are you doing, Coach?
We're doing great. Just getting ready for Lackawanna. Got a tough opponent coming in here this weekend. Put that Central Georgia technical game to bed, and boy, what a great weekend it's going to be. It's going to be a great matchup, and really looking forward to it.
Okay, before we put Central Georgia Tech to rest, though, man, what a performance from Jalen Brown. I mean, that's what everybody's talking about. That's what I'm talking about. 251 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns, about 67 yards rushing. Big day for Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, it was really extremely proud of him coming in, been the backup all year, not getting very many reps. And when he did, there against Gyra Prep, the first game, unfortunately, threw 2 picks. But, he's always thrown the ball really well in summer workouts and then in practice. He's got a really good ball. And, man, he had some really good throws on Saturday. And controlled the offense and really commanded it. And I was really proud of him. He did a good job. And hopefully we know what he can do. And maybe things happen for a reason. With Chip not playing, we kind of held him and, gave Jaylen a chance to get some really meaningful snaps. And, I feel like we got a very capable quarterback with him. Basically, kind of shook off some of the rust. He hadn't, he redshirted last year at Iowa Western, and so he hadn't played, football in a game really since high school, at LaGrange High School, and really, really proud of him and his maturation process.
You go back to the Gyra Prep game. I think the second QB to come in that day was Chris Young, and then Jaylen Brown came in. Guys like me are going, okay, well, that means Young's 2 and Brown's 3, but that's not necessarily true.
No, and it's Chris Phillips, a young man that transferred to us from Sewanee College, played a little bit his freshman year there, I think under the 4-game minimum, and then didn't play for us last year. And, just a great young man, does a lot of really good things for us. He's our scout team quarterback. He's like the 3rd guy, and was able to get him some reps, against Gyra Prep, and then he did a good job coming in against, against Central Georgia Tech, and hopefully he'll be able to get some more snaps, during the course of the year. He's a great young man, does a really good job for our team. Kind of one of those unseen heroes, so to speak. Really gives our guys a good look on scout team, and he's a really, really good young man.
And my apologies to Chris, by the way, calling him Young versus Phillips. I don't know where that came from.
We got a lot of them. So.
Traquan Jones, he's starting to become kind of an option out of the backfield, too, to throw the ball to. I know he's had a couple of receptions this year, one for a touchdown last week. Is that something we're going to see more of?
I think potentially, obviously if the defense gives Coach Reddy and them that opportunity, and if it's there, look, along with Traquan and then even Keenan, I think anytime they have the balls in their hands, they can take it to the house any point in time, and throwing the ball to them is another option. Makes the defenses work on it. Screen game, back out of the backfield, things like that is stuff that you got to work on in practice if you're a defense. And I think it just opens up more things for us to be able to do offensively. And I think kind of like some good blocking downfield. The screen I think went for 40 or something like that. Last week, like I said, anytime the ball gets in his hands, he's got the speed and the ability to take it to the house. So. I think we'll definitely see more of that stuff in the future.
Is Cole Schneider one of the most improved ball players on the team from week 1 to week 4? He was averaging about 35 a kick the first week, then it bumps up to 38. Then he had a spectacular kick against Central Georgia Tech that pinned them back deep. He certainly has improved over the year.
He has. I think a lot of people may forget that, junior college, you're essentially playing with freshmen. So, a lot of these guys, through the first 4 games, especially the first 2, they're playing, they just got out of high school and they're playing in a lot, high level type of contests and the atmosphere. And I think they settle down, they get better and better. But I think our punt team's been doing a really good job protecting him, and he's got a heck of a leg on him. And the one that he put inside the 10, he had another 44-yarder. We just missed some tackles and didn't contain as well as we need to. But he's really coming into his own. Does a really good job for us.
McCray, a pick 6 against Tyler, had a pick 6 against Central Georgia Tech, called back because of the penalty. But, man, he has been spectacular on defense.
He has. He's a really good player down from Telfair County in McRae, Georgia. I don't think there's any relation there. His last name is McRae. They spelled it a little bit different, but he was right there. I mean, kind of a phantom holding call, I think, but unfortunately, he had that one brought back. We were still able to get points out of that turnover, but really, really been a bright spot at the back end for us. I think better days are really in front of him. Really good player.
Taking on Lackawanna this week. As a matter of fact, the game gets underway momentarily. We're recording this on a Tuesday, but airing it on a Saturday, just moments before kickoff. Lackawanna played Snow last week, lost in the closing moments of the game, tight ball game. Would you rather face a Lackawanna coming off a win or a loss? Although, I mean, you don't have an option, it's off a loss, but which would you have preferred?
Doesn't really, I'm ambivalent, six one way, half a dozen another. It doesn't matter. I mean, you know what you're going to get out of a Lackawanna team. Coach Duda, a Hall of Famer in NJCAA. I mean, he's going to have his team ready to play. It mimics kind of what we had to do. We had the really heartbreaker against Iowa Western, and we had to go on the road all the way to Texas, and we were able to find a way to get it done. I would expect the same from Lackawanna. They're going to get on the road, come down here, and it's going to be a slobber knocker. Man, they're really big up front. They got a really good running back transfer out of Vanderbilt. I think he's in his second year there. Quarterbacks transfer out of VMI. I mean, they got you've seen them playing a lot here, over the years, and they got really good size. They're physical. I mean, it's going to be a tough ball game for us.
You play them twice here now, and obviously in Pennsylvania in about a month and a half. Is that 2-game series? Do you see that continuing, or at some point will it stop?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's been good for both of us, I think, especially, we're fortunate now. We do have 2 more teams in a conference. So, I don't know if we're going to necessarily need to keep doing it. I think it's good for both of us. At the end of the day, though, I mean, we're all kind of still independents, and it still gives us a high quality opponent. But I mean, Coach Reese, the defense coordinator over there, I mean, we just kind of had a relationship, and their athletic director. Hey, we want to play good games, and with not very many people wanting to play us and being kind of independents, you got to do everything you can to get solid opponents on your schedule. So, I mean, in the future, we'll see what happens. But it's not a bad trip up there. But at some point, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see I don't know what'll happen.
I don't want to take anything away from the Jive Preps, from the Central Georgia Techs or the Andrew Colleges, but there are games over the course of the season that are kind of those barometer games. Tyler was one of those. Iowa Western one. Isn't Lackawanna one of those? And what do you hope to learn about Georgia Military against the Falcons?
I think very good question. I mean, unequivocally, definitely a barometer game. I mean, each week is basically probably from here on out. I mean, Lackawanna, we'll see where we are. I think I know what kind of team we have, especially after playing Iowa Western. I think we've got a damn good ball club. But at the end of the day, you got to be ready to come and play each and every week. Lackawanna, if we're fortunate enough to get a win, then I think that keeps us in the conversation potentially of postseason play at the end of the year. We can't worry about that, though. I mean, we're just focused on being 1-0. But anytime you can beat a high quality opponent, I mean, I think that bodes well for your program. It'd be a great win, even though, everything's subjective. I mean, we're ranked ahead of them right now, which doesn't really matter. But anytime you can get a win against a Lackawanna or a Coach Duda team, I mean, that's a feather in your hat, I think.
I believe this year nobody's going to make it through the regular season without loss. It sure doesn't look that way very early in the year. Is there any discussion at all about the possibility of appearing in that Final Four at this moment?
No, not right now. I mean, it was kind of like the big white elephant in the room. After we played Iowa Western the way that we played them, I think our young men believe that they can go and compete against anybody. I believe they feel like, they are one of the better teams in junior college. But each each week's a test. You prepare during the week, and then you have your test on Saturday. And I mean, I think it's there. It's in the back of your mind, but it's like you got to win each game each week, and you got to be 1-0 each week. I know that's kind of cliche, but it's just a part of the process. We're more focused on ourselves, getting better each week. We had positions last week that played better than they had been, but it's all about alignment and assignment and executing your job. And if we can do that and we can be 1-0, then we're one step closer to the process of hopefully maybe being having the honor to play in the junior college playoff, if you will.
We started the conversation talking about a quarterback. Let's end it talking about a quarterback. How is Chip Cooper, who sat out last week?
He's doing extremely well. He's our guy. There's no quarterback controversy here. We're gonna ride Chip till the cows come home, and he'll be ready to play this weekend. And I think, like I said, maybe things happen for a reason. I think now Jaylen Brown's really cemented himself as a guy that we can go and win with. Like I said, I thought he orchestrated the offense well, made very minimal mistakes. He was our offensive player of the game for our team individually. And, I think I feel comfortable with both of those guys in there. But, at the end of the day, it's all going to come down to the trenches. I think we're fortunate enough. We got really good offensive line and defensive linemen. And so does Lackawanna. So, I think the battle's going to be won in the trenches. And we got to be able to stop the run and don't give up big plays and put some points on the board. So I know it kind of sounds simple, but it's not. Looking forward to a really good game. If you want to watch some great junior college football, I think these are why these young men on both sides of the ball come to our respected institutions, is to play high-quality opponents, get film, and hopefully it'll help them in their recruitment.
Coach, good luck against the Falcons. We'll talk after the game.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
The final episode of the Pest Control Guys. It's the competition that could win them the biggest contract of their life for Karen Moneybags. You won't believe what happens when we let the guys inside the house. It's 3 guys up for 1 contract. Only one can say, I do accept the contract. Next on the Pest Control Guys. Sponsored by Bug House Pest Control. Protect your house with Bug House.
Georgia Sports Medicine Center is proud to serve our Central Georgia athletes. We offer Georgia's most comprehensive team of sports medicine fellowship-trained surgeons. The well-trained staff is committed to the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Ortho Georgia is excited to support student athletics by providing a free sports injury clinic in the fall on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. The staff at Ortho Georgia works together to customize your rehabilitation program to ensure a speedy return to your activity. Remember Ortho Georgia, your home for orthopedic.
There are your Bulldog captains to start the game.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Davenport Field, Milledgeville, Georgia, on a warm September afternoon. It was supposed to be cooler this time of year. It's not. Temperatures into the mid-90s today. And those heat indices could reach triple digits. Falcons and Bulldogs. Lackawanna and Georgia Military College. Lackawanna coming in with a 2-1 record. Georgia Military sporting a 3-1 mark coming in. Both teams ranked in the top 15. And as I mentioned in preceding our conversation with Rob Manchester, I think everybody's probably going to get a loss this year. It's going to be tough not to. Hutch, a couple of Mississippi teams, a few teams from Texas still unbeaten, but they're going to beat up on each other, and Hutch has struggled a little bit this year. But the question is, will a two-loss team get in? One loss will, more than likely. Will a two-loss? And that could be a question mark. So it makes this game, every game, the remainder of the season for both big. Both of these teams hoping to prove their worth of getting into that Final Four and still having a shot at the end of regular season to play for a national championship. It will be the Bulldogs receiving first. And able to do a little balancing act there on the sidelines. Able to bring it in across the 40 and knocked out of bounds at the 47 is number 47, Darian Smith. An excellent field position to begin this one. Hi, everybody. Robert Williamson bringing you the coverage and, doing a little camera op work too, handling the graphics. Not good at any of them. Just warning you in advance that if something goes awry, it's from a novice multitasker. First down and 10 football, we'll call it at the 48. Chip Cooper back in at QB after sitting out last week. I believe it was a hamstring that had him on the sidelines. Give goes to Jones. Jones inside Lackawanna territory to the 43 on his opening carry.
On the carry, picked up 9 yards.
Well, Cooper out and
2nd and 1.
Brown came in. And Jalen Brown had a heck of a ball game. Might have an offsides and a free play for Cooper, and he's going to lift it in the direction of Smith to try to take advantage of the free play. But it is going to come back, and I believe it is going to be offsides. Charge to Lackawanna. Unless, of course, they were drawn off by somebody wearing, well, I was about to say wearing red, but they're both wearing red. It is offsides. And will be a 5-yard mark off against Lackawanna. That's already thrown me, by the way. Got here about hour 45 before game time. Players with trousers, jerseys not yet on the field. And I'm like, where's Lackawanna? And they're running late. I did not see the familiar purple and silver. Well, it's because they're not wearing purple and silver today. Jones this time snuffed out near the line of scrimmage.
In the offensive line for the Bulldogs right now.
And maybe this is a color from years gone by, but it's a color that
62.
I didn't expect them to have. I was looking for the silver, looking for the purple, the gray. We'll call it a 2nd down and 10. Football at the 38. Big matchup in the NJCAA today. Kilgore taking on Navarro. That's a battle of the unbeatens early. Pass caught by Jones, and he'll tiptoe down the sidelines. Jones becoming an effective back out of the backfield receiving the football. Came in with 3 pass receptions, and a touchdown will grab his 4th of the season there.
Yeah, good for a Bulldog first down.
Enough for the first. Football inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. where it is first down and 10 Bulldogs, opening drive of the football game. A couple of college football games today here on JockJive. As Smith goes in motion. Handoff given to Jones. Bursts up the middle into the end zone. 28 yards out, and Georgia Military on the board with a Traquan Jones 6.
And we're in that end zone early, 13:09 in the first.
Took less than 2 minutes. And Jones with a big burst up the middle. Into the end zone. That is his 4th on the ground and his 5th overall. And let's see if Perez can do it for a 32nd time. No. Wow, that has not happened very often. How about not at all this year?
The pathways to opportunities are endless at Georgia Military College. Since 1879, we have transformed students into effective leaders and engaged citizens, grounded in civility and respect for others. Whether you want a traditional college experience, something closer to home, or education online that suits your schedule, Georgia Military College is committed to helping you succeed. Start here. Go anywhere.
Perez booting it back deep to the 1-yard line, and the return, with penalty flags flying in, will be near the 20 if they mark the forward progress of Jamal Jefferson. And let's see what the penalty yardage will do to the return. Will it add to or take away from? Well, that was the first kick by Perez following a missed extra point try. 31 straight before the miss.
Legal block in the back. Return team, number 4. Half the distance to goal.
Well, there is the infraction. Gene Townsend, illegal block to the back. And Lackawanna will march half the distance to the goal. Where it will be first down and 10, and Lackawanna will get their first drive of the football game. Bulldogs impressive on theirs. 52-yard drive. Jones going the final 28. Only thing that went wrong on the opening drive was the extra point kick. Wyatt Hagan going upstairs immediately finds his target. Nice open field tackle. But catch made by Michael Hodge.
Number 8, Haynes on the
Gain out to the 13. Picked up 5, brings up a 2nd and 5.
Gampy's also in that defensive line. Emmanuel Gampy, number 99.
Wyatt Hagan. As a matter of fact, the backfield period is a D1 backfield. Hagan from VMI previously. And the guy carrying the football. Well, no, football lost, dropped. Guess who's got it, Bulldogs?
I believe that's our ball. 91 came up with it, Mine Conaway.
And Bulldogs in business on the drop. Well, I think there might have been a bad exchange between Hagan and Edwards. Left it behind, and Bulldogs hop on it. And the Dogs will be right at the 10. Pigskin lying on the 10, so there's not an opportunity to pick up first. It is first and goal.
You have a no cell phone usage by the man.
So 2 Lackawanna plays. A pass play of 5. The football on the turf. Bulldogs pounce on it. And it is a first and goal at the 10. In the backfield is Kinchin.
Trey Kinchin on the carry.
Kinchin back to the line of scrimmage, might have squeaked out a yard. Kinchin on the season, 155 yards rushing.
Kinchin's number 2 out there on the field.
Picks up
Number
about a
12,
half yard.
Keith
And
Johnson.
it is second and goal. Still near the
Out there as
10.
a wide receiver.
And the Lackawanna defense getting a
19, Trenton
very early
Smith.
test after the fumble. Kinchin staying in the backfield. Hand off to the big bruising back right up the middle, and he will find his way in the end zone.
Touchdown.
10
Trey
yards
Kinchin.
out, and Kinchin
Trayvon
has
Kinchin
got the
has it
Bulldogs
delivered.
up by a couple of scores.
He's a big guy. Trey weighs about 227.
So Jones has one from 28 yards out. And less than 90 seconds later, Kinchin has one from 10 yards away. And the Perez kick, it is good.
Perez with the point after. The Corps Cadets and through extracurricular activities. Leadership, your legacy.
Georgia Military College, a 52-yard drive and a 10-yard drive. 2 rushing touchdowns, 21 TDs on the ground this year already. And then you tack on the 2 more today. As Perez will boot it away. And again, right near the goal line. Turned upfield. And out to about the 20. That was
Quan Floyd,
Khalif
number
Kemp
20 on that tackle.
on the return.
Quan's from
Well, do not
Queensland,
count
Georgia.
Lackawanna out, though. This is a quality program for years. This is not a quality program just over the course of the last year
Look
or
on the
so.
roster, 99% of our guys come from the state of Georgia. We have a lot to
You
be
get
proud of.
complacent against the Falcons, and they will hurt you. So, Georgia Military will try to keep that foot on the accelerator. Second drive of the football game for Lackawanna. Hand off up the middle and not a lot of running room. Might have squeaked out a half yard. And it's got him on my Malbu.
Second at about 10 for Lackawanna.
Malmo 100 yards and a touchdown on the season for Lackawanna. Hagan, who has completed 1 pass, thrown 1 pass, has thrown 2 and completed 2. Caught by Michael Hodges.
Dorian Haynes on the tackle. Number 8.
That is the second completion. Hodges. And both have been
Third down,
from about
41.
5 or 6 yards. Brings up a 3rd down and 3. Football at the 29. You got to cross the 33 to pick up the first if you are Lackawanna. Junior college football on a Saturday afternoon here in Milledgeville, Georgia. Top 15 matchup. 7-13, Tangling Wyatt. Looking to complete the pass and get the first. He'll do both and more. Inside Bulldog territory, first trip
Number
there.
3, Daryl Harper got loose on us out there. Daryl Harper.
And that is Daryl Harper on the reception. Down to the 41. Big 3rd down conversion for Lackawanna. Well, and as I mentioned, you turn your head, and they're going to come right back. So the Bulldogs hoping that that was a fluke. and not something that is going to happen consistently. Incomplete.
Pass incomplete. Jorian Haynes, number 8, back there on defense.
Jordan McCray, one of the 2 defenders back. Haynes the other. McCray has got a couple of picks already this year. One was a pick 6. As a matter of fact, that was the game changer
Also back there, giving a hand.
in Tyler, Texas,
2nd and 10.
when he returned it 83 yards for a touchdown. Hit off given to Maurice Edwards, tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. He will fall forward for a yard or 2.
Jeremiah Burks tripped him up, number 35.
And it's a 3rd down and long. A reminder at halftime, our guest today, Courtney Morgan, women's soccer head coach here at Georgia Military College. 3rd down and 10, Lackawanna. Football at the Bulldog 41. Hagan dropping back, looks. Overshoots everybody, incomplete. It is 4th and long. Well, the intended target was nowhere close to the pass thrown by Hagan. But there is a penalty flag, and there is a hold. It is a defensive hold. Well, maybe that was part of the reason that the receiver got nowhere close to the reception. I don't know where the hold took place, but I do know that Christian Harrison was nowhere close to the Hagan toss.
31-yard line.
So the penalty will give Lackawanna the first. Down to the 31 where it is 1st down and 10. There's that favorite target already, Hodges. And again, picking up 5, 6, in this particular case, 8.
7 yards, 2nd and 3.
2nd and short. Football inside the 25. Movement on the line. And that is likely going to push back the Falcons. It looked like Johnny Cranford stepped backwards first.
False start. Offense number 61. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
So a 5-yard mark off. And instead of a 2nd and 2, 2nd and 7. A reminder, you're watching the game on YouTube. Even if you went to our site, you're watching the media player from YouTube. Love to have you subscribe to our channel. Let's see, what should we shoot for today goal-wise? 5,100? 5,200? Hand off up the middle to Edwards, and Edwards down to the 25.
2 or 3 Bulldogs on that tackle.
And when you subscribe,
5, Maurice Edwards.
you get access not only to games, you get access to interviews,
3rd down, about 3 or 4
conversations with the players,
yards, and they're on our 24-yard
and in
line.
some cases, some unique stories, like the story involving Emma Long from Enterprise State Community College, who I tell folks ran the wrong way. That is Edwards running the right way, but
Anthony
I don't think he's
Carter.
got enough for the first. Just shy. And it'll bring up a 4th and short.
Anthony Carter from down around Valdosta.
But to finish the story, and you'll have to get the whole shooting match by subscribing on YouTube, but she ran the wrong way to go help an opponent who was injured on one of her best times ever. Stopped and helped another that was injured. 4th and short. Hagan looking, wants to pass, running room up the middle, and it looks like he's got the first.
Wyatt
And indeed
Hagan
he
on that
does.
Carry for Lackawanna. Got the 1st down.
First down, 10, football at the 20. I know we're very early in the game, and I know we say this often about how significant a drive is. But this is a big one for Lackawanna. They want to cut it to a 2-score game. Complete pass. And down to the 12-yard line. On the reception goes the tight end, Kevin Daughtry.
On the tackle. Pass was complete to Kevin Daughtry, number 19, the tight end.
Pickup of 8 on the pass play.
Second about 3 or 4
And it will
yards.
bring up a second down and 2.
Falcons.
The big play thus far on the drive was actually the penalty. Over the middle, incomplete pass. Hagan a little bit slow getting up. There is a penalty flag on the opposite side of the field.
Offside. Defense number 50.
And it is an offsides
Players off
against
first
the
down.
Bulldogs, which again will give Lackawanna a first down. That is 2 costly penalties on the drive that have been Falcon helpers. First down and goal at the 8. And I'll give it to Edwards, and Edwards will make his way near the 6, stood up there. Edwards, the bulk of the carries this year, 334 yards rushing. Second leading ground gainer has 100. Second down and goal, we'll call it the 7. And again, Edwards in the backfield beside Hagan. Hagan wide open is Edwards. He will easily stroll into the end zone. And Lackawanna has cut the lead in half.
Well, we knew this was
4:23 to play in the first. And Hagan's 7-yard TD toss to Edwards.
The extra point.
Hughes on the field to try the extra point. It's up and good.
It's good. 13,
And the Falcons are within 6.
7 here, 4:23.
Georgia Sports Medicine Center is proud to serve our Central Georgia athletes. We offer Georgia's most comprehensive team of sports medicine fellowship trained surgeons. The well-trained staff is committed to the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Ortho Georgia is excited to support student athletics by providing a free sports injury clinic in the fall on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. The staff at Ortho Georgia works together to customize your rehabilitation program to ensure a speedy return to your activity. Remember Ortho Georgia, your home for orthopedic excellence.
Lackawanna 6, aided by the Bulldogs. 2 costly penalties on third down. And Lackawanna will trim it to a 6-point game. Brought from the 3. And then stepping out of bounds
Gets up to about the 35.
is Jalen Flood.
Maybe the 30.
And we'll say he stepped out at the 30.
On the 30-yard line. First and 10 Bulldogs.
And that is where the Bulldogs will start their third drive of the football game. Worst field position in the first quarter. Starting one drive at the 48, one drive at the Lackawanna 10. And this one will begin at the 30. First down and 10, Georgia Military College. Cooper all alone with a 4-receiver set. And Cooper 300-plus yards rushing. And he will get his first carry of the game and be brought down at the 30.
Cooper on the carry, number 3.
All right, I'm going to be redundant. Important drive again. Georgia Military trying to respond to the drive by Lackawanna. Lackawanna hoping to get the football back. Tie it up, take the lead. Very early in the game. Read perfectly, nowhere for Lee Niles to go. And he'll be dropped way back inside the 30. Down to the 23. And now the Bulldogs in a hole, needing to get to the 40. Looking at a 3rd and right at 17. Keenan Phillips in the backfield. Keenan Phillips, one of the top scorers in the country. Tied for the statistical lead with 7 TDs, which is as many as any other back in the country.
Offense,
Wow,
5
this
yard
drive
penalty,
has
still 3rd down.
had its problems. Delay of game, Bulldogs. And a 3rd and already problematic becomes more so. Penalty yardage pushing the Bulldogs back to the 18. Where it's now 3rd and 22. Cooper. Out to the 31 goes Telemast.
Number 45.
Got about half of the yardage he needed. And we will see our first punt of the afternoon.
Bo Telebast. 4th and 10 for the Dogs.
Cole Snyder in to kick. Averaging almost 40 per. Kind of a line drive shot fielded at the 25. And out at the 38-yard line on the return is Blackwell.
Portier Blackwell, number 27 on the run back.
And that's where Lackawanna will take over.
39-yard line.
First down and 10. Still got a minute 57 left to play in the opening quarter. Lackawanna 2-1. Wins over Palmetto Collegiate and Lewisburg, a loss to Snow. Bulldogs 3-1. Wins over Jimer Prep, Central Georgia Tech, and Tyler. And lost to Iowa Western. Into the flats with a pass to the 44-yard line.
Damari Jordan, number 40 on that tackle.
On the reception is
Gain of
Daughtry.
About 5 or 6 yards for the Falcons.
And those pass plays, those little 6, 7, 8, 9-yard darts. I don't think there's been a double-digit pass play yet. But Hagan has been very effective with a short pass game. And mixing in the run, then we'll pick up first inside the 50 to the 49 goes Maurice Edwards.
Play good for a Falcon first down inside our 50-yard line on our 49.
So the first 2 drives of the football game, big for the Bulldogs. Score in the first, get the turnover, score in the second. And off given to Edwards, and Edwards will gain a yard or 2.
31-50 much. Harris Coney.
And the last 2 Lackawanna drives. Productive. Previous one
2nd and 9.
Turns into 6 on the 7-yard touchdown pass, Hagan to Edwards. And this one will find Lackawanna inside Bulldog territory with what may be the last play of the first quarter. Hagan to pass. Over the middle again, just that little dink. Over the middle, enough for the first. This one to Edwards. And let's see if that will bring the quarter to an end.
Jones. Good for a Falcon first down.
And I think
On our 37-yard line.
it will.
That ends the first quarter. Bulldogs 13.
Bulldogs with the lead, the quick start.
All right, here's your second trivia song.
Lackawanna
Here's your trivia for the
cutting the lead in half
fudge cake.
and threatening to match it. And maybe then some as we head to the second.
The final episode of the Pest Control Guys. It's the competition that could win them the biggest contract of their life for Karen Moneybags. You won't believe what happens when we let the guys inside the house. It's 3 guys up for 1 contract. Only one can say, I do accept the contract. Next on the Pest Control Guys. Sponsored by Bughouse Pest Control. Protect your house with Bughouse.
Years, the Jaworski family. Great bunch of people. Good soccer.
We head
people.
into quarter number 2 in a 13-7 contest. Bulldogs with the
They were
lead.
very instrumental in bringing soccer to GMC
Lackawanna
years ago. The
Starting to
Jaworskis.
knock on the door again. Football at the 37, where it is first down and 10. Hanging a pass, steps up, looks, fires. It is incomplete.
Pass incomplete, intended for Darryl Harper.
Harper, the guy who was trying to hit, incomplete pass.
Turner, number 7.
And it will bring up a 2nd down and 10.
2nd and 10.
And if you're thinking about Hughes' field goal range, his longest of the year, 41. So if that is the outer limits of his range, then you're going to want to get it inside the 25 to give him a shot. And I'll give it to Edwards. And Edwards will be dropped at the 27. And somebody's got to come out, lost the headgear, and that somebody is Kevin Daughtry.
Aiden Benton, number 9.
Gain of 9 brings up a 3rd and 1. And you would think 4-down territory if the Falcons do not convert on a 3rd. Third down and 1. Edwards spinning away from one would-be tackler, able to pick up the first down to near the 25.
Maurice Edwards gets the first down for the Falcons.
So it is a first down and
They're
10.
on our 25-yard line.
This defense, one of the better against the run, taking on a team that really likes to run. And have done so very effectively in the first 3 games of the year. Handoff given to Edwards, and Edwards inside the 25. I checked that. That is not Edwards on the carry.
35 hit him first.
That is Jamal Jefferson. So Jefferson
Burks got him on that tackle, number 35. We had a little help.
picking up a yard. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 9. Football at the 24. Breaking into the left side, running room down to the 15, spins to the 11. Kalamama Malba.
First down.
And a little chippiness starting to surface. And got a timeout
Timeout. GMC.
on the
Their first
field.
of the
It
half.
is asked for by GMC. And the Bulldogs, who were perfectly content after a couple of drives, not so happy right now.
Georgia Sports Medicine Center is proud to serve our Central Georgia athletes. We offer Georgia's most comprehensive team of sports medicine fellowship trained surgeons. The well-trained staff is committed to the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Ortho Georgia is excited to support student athletics by providing a free sports injury clinic in the fall on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. The staff at Ortho Georgia works together to customize your rehabilitation program to ensure a speedy return to your activity. Remember Ortho Georgia, your home for orthopedic excellence.
10 from about the 13.
Just a few minutes into the second stanza, and it is first down and 10. Hagan. Pass is caught by Hodges, and Hodges will dive down to the 6.
Anthony Carter, number 3.
And check that. That is Daryl Harper on the reception.
Pass complete for a gain of about 6 yards. 2nd and 4 for the Falcons.
Gain of 6 brings up a 2nd down and 4. Malva still in the backfield. Edwards on the sidelines. Hagan to pass. Looks. And it is incomplete.
That'll bring up a third
Harper
down.
again, the
4.
intended target. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 4. Lackawanna can get a first without scoring. Got to get it inside the 3.5 to 2. Or would that be 2.5 to 3? And I'll give it to Malba. And Malba will be stood up near the 5. So it is now decision time, and apparently the decision has already been made. Lackawanna wants points out of the drive, and they're sending Hughes onto the field to try to pick up his, I believe, 4th field goal of the year. Longest of 41, this one far less than 41. It will be about a 23-yard effort. Trying to make it a 13-10 game. Looks good from this vantage point, and the officials say it is. Lackawanna trims it to a field goal lead.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby, got me falling hard for you. It's you, I felt this way before, you know it's true. It's you, you got me more and more. Oh, you got me falling hard.
Well, there was a flag thrown And it appears as though Lackawanna has now opted to take
Pointing
the
kicker.
three
On
off
defense.
the
Half distance to
board.
goal.
And
Fourth down. Timeout, Lackawanna, their first of the half.
you got a half the distance to the goal. So it is still a fourth down. But you can look right there at the down marker and see how close it is to a first, about the length of the football. So Lackawanna has said, take the three off the board. We're going to take our chances on a fourth and short with Maurice Edwards, who is a 5'11", 200-pounder, or a Galamama Malba, who is a 6'1", 220-pounder. So they're thinking with the two, a pretty good chance at picking up first down or more on a fourth and short. So scratch the Hughes 23-yarder. Edwards in the backfield on a fourth and very short. Handoff given to Edwards. He's hit. It looked like he stumbled forward for the first. Falcons say they've got it. Bulldogs say they don't.
Number 90 in there.
Officials haven't said anything yet. And now the official stepping in and saying it is first. First and goal. First and goal inside the 2. Handoff given to Edwards, and Edwards will dive into the end zone from a couple of yards out. Second Edwards touchdown of the football game, one through the air, one on the ground. And we are tied at 13 with Lackawanna poised to take the lead at the 11:08 mark. Hughes has only missed once this year. Of course, Perez hadn't missed until today. Let's see what Hughes does after the Edwards 2-yard TD run. And he will drop it right through the uprights.
The pathways to opportunities are endless at Georgia Military College. Since 1879, we have transformed students into effective leaders and engaged citizens, grounded in civility and respect for others. Whether you want a traditional college experience, something closer to home, or education online that suits your schedule, Georgia Military College is committed to helping you succeed. Start here. Go anywhere.
Lackawanna taking their first lead of the football game at the 11:08 mark.
Daryl Bland, Jr., 81, back deep for the Dogs.
Edwards with a 2-yard touchdown run
Also 25.
to go along with his 7-yard touchdown reception. And Lackawanna has grabbed the lead here in quarter number 2. End over end kick, relatively short. Bland grabs it and then is grabbed and tossed out of bounds near the 38.
Back up past the 35. Daryl Bland, Jr.
So Bland on the return. Excellent field position for Georgia Military, who will start and drive for the first time in the ballgame down.
We're going to spot the ball on about the 38-yard line. 1st and 10 Dogs.
Down by a point. I know you're tired of hearing it. Important drive again, though. Bulldogs starting at their own 37-yard line. Where it is 1st down and 10, Georgia Military. Handoff given to Jones back into the game after working the backfield and that opening drive and sat the sideline since, back in now.
Keenan Phillips on that last carry.
I checked that. That's Phillips. Still haven't seen Jones back onto the turf. I'm scanning the sidelines to see if I can see a number 6. Cooper lofting one, and you got pass interference. Thankfully, because of a short toss, Johnson having to come back for it, and in the process, the DB got in the way, Jamal Jefferson.
Pass interference, defense, number 22.
And it'll turn it into pass interference.
Automatic 1st down.
And give a 1st down to Georgia Military. Well, let's see. Where was the number 6? Traquan Jones. And I still don't see a Jones. Is Phillips still in the backfield? Ah, there he is. Appears to be okay. Standing near the 43 on the sidelines. And there was a penalty flag. It will be a false start.
Offense number 33. 5-yard penalty still, 1st down.
Kyrie Fuller, the guilty party. And it will bring up a 1st down and 15. Ball spotted just shy of midfield. Next week, headed to New York City. Monroe University, not college anymore. Mustangs are now Monroe University, playing host to the Georgia Military College Bulldogs. We'll have the coverage for you. Still a 1 o'clock Eastern start. Cooper to pass, flushed out of the pocket, gets rid of it. Incomplete, had a target open, but just could not get it into the hands of Okale. And now there's a penalty flag and could be a roughing the quarterback call. And let's see what the official has to say about that yellow hanky in the backfield.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 9. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Now Eric Graham charged with the infraction, and he did not appear to be a happy camper.
On the Falcons' 35-yard line.
So another 1st down. Well, there was a drive. As a matter of fact, the first one that resulted in 6 for Lackawanna that was aided by Bulldog infractions. And now you've got a Bulldog drive that's been aided by Falcon miscues. Handoff given to Phillips. Phillips running room, 20, 15, 10. Burst towards the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Back out on top.
Buddy. He got in a different gear for that. I think number 8 hit high gear on that run.
.33-yard touchdown run, Keenan Phillips. TD number 8 on the year. And about a football minute later, Bulldogs reclaiming the lead. Perez trying to boot it through the uprights.
Perez with the
He will do it.
Keenan Phillips on the touchdown.
And it's a 2014 lead.
Georgia Sports Medicine Center is proud to serve our Central Georgia athletes. We offer Georgia's most comprehensive team of sports medicine fellowship trained surgeons. The well-trained staff is committed to the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Ortho Georgia is excited to support student athletics by providing a free sports injury clinic in the fall on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. The staff at Ortho Georgia works together to customize your rehabilitation program to ensure a speedy return to your activity. Remember Ortho Georgia, your home for orthopedic excellence.
33-yard Keenan Phillips touchdown run. Perez with the extra point kick. Bulldogs with a 6-point lead as Perez will boot it away. And it will be returned from the 3. Down to the 15. And in stepping out of bounds, thinking he might have a little bit more, is Nickens Yazir. But apparently stepped out of bounds somewhere around the 20. So Lackawanna takes over. And this is kind of what we expected with these two teams meeting, though. They historically play one another very tough. It typically is not going to be a defensive struggle. It's going to be more of a offensive Donnybrook. And generally speaking, there are exceptions, obviously. But generally speaking, it's about 10 points or less that determine the victory.
24-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Falcons.
First down and 10. Football at the 24-yard line for Hagan and company. Edwards will be dropped. No gain on the Edwards carry.
Jarris Coney, 31.
And it'll bring up a second down
Big
and
hit.
10.
Big number 31.
Don't forget, Courtney Morgan,
2nd and 10.
women's soccer coach, our halftime guest. And 2, looking for subscribers. Yeah, we'll push it all game long. Kind of would like to get to 5,100 by the end of the game. We're at like 50 away from that. At the end of the game, we talk with Rob Manchester. That is a feature only available on YouTube and only to our subscribers. Complete pass to the 24 and then making his way near first down yardage.
Jordan McCray picked up about 6 yards. 3rd and
That's Kevin
4
Daughtry.
for the Falcons. We're up to our 30.
So he stepped out of the
31-yard
31. And it will be a 3rd down and 3. Again, no long, lengthy pass plays. It's been dinks and darts, but they've been effective for Hagan. And has a 3rd and manageable with a football at the 31. That's a little longer than dink or dart, but it is incomplete.
Incomplete pass.
The intended target was Hodges. Now you've got a late flag, and I don't think that's going to be a pass interference call. That may be complaining that there wasn't a pass interference call. Let's see. Well, you can see the complaining still continuing from the Falcon bench, so it doesn't look like this is going to be an infraction that goes against the Bulldogs. Well, let's see what the officials are sorting out. And if we will get a preliminary indication as to the infraction.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Sideline assistant coach, 15-yard penalty, 4th down.
Well, that was fairly descriptive. Unsportsmanlike. Sideline assistant
That's the
coach.
assistant coach, first unsportsmanlike.
And that is his first.
Michael Hartshorn minus 15 yards here with this punt.
I'm trying to think if I mean, I have seen, obviously, unsportsmanlike calls
Ryan Jr.
on a
back
bench.
to receive.
Have I heard them get a little more specific and hang it on an assistant coach? And then remind us that one more and he's gone.
Bland
Fielded
Jr.
at
takes it on the
midfield
50.
by Bland. And that's where the Bulldogs will take over first down
10 Dogs.
and 10.
Decent field position.
Don't forget, too, for those of you who watch Georgia Military College football often, for those of you who are maybe catching the game for the first time
UNC Regiment accolade is character
this
above
afternoon
all.
in the third,
And that's modeled by our student athletes in the
we take your
classroom,
shout-outs.
the community, and on the playing field.
So that
Character
might
above
require a
all.
little creative thinking. And if you want to start thinking now as to what you say in the third, or if you got a little watch party going on, you want to snap a photo so we can get it on our social media outlets later, go ahead and position everybody. You sit here, you go there, and somehow get us in the picture. Snap it, and we'll tell you where to send it in a bit. Wow, Jones gets back into the game, and
Raekwon
he is
Jones on the
smashed
carry.
behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 5. Brings up a 2nd and 15. Running clock, 8 minutes to play in the half. Halftime, not only do we talk to Courtney Morgan, we'll also take a look at scores elsewhere. We know what happened on Thursday in Mississippi. A lot of the teams have already played from Mississippi, maybe all of the teams on Thursday. And we'll see if we can get updates as to what's happening today. Cooper on the carry, his second of the afternoon, and we'll pick up about a yard.
Might have got a yard back.
And that big matchup between 5 and 6, Kilgore and Navarro, is an 8 p.m. game. So we will have nothing to report from Texas on that one. It'll happen later tonight. Speaking of later tonight, Allen University and Point University here on JockJive, a 7 p.m. kickoff. Third down and long for Cooper. Flushed out of the pocket, looks downfield. Fuller, the intended target. Incomplete pass will bring up a 4th down and long. Cole Snyder on the turf trying to pin Lackawanna back deep. Averaging a little better than 39 a kick. Angling to the sidelines.
Cole
And it
Snyder,
will go out.
number 46.
Right about the 5. That was a
Hey,
very
that
good
boy punt or
Cole
what?
Snyder
I'm
kick.
telling you.
When you're a punter, that gets you some high fives and some low fives on the sidelines.
You remember that one he hit last week down there? Out
So
about the
Lackawanna
2.
will start right about their 5 with a 1st and 10. These two teams play one another twice. Next meeting will be in November in Scranton, PA.
All right, they're on their 5-yard line thanks to Mr. Snyder. 1st and 10.
Which, of course, is the make-believe site of the home port of the television show The Office. Maybe one of the best TV shows of all time. And when you are at Lackawanna, you're going to hear the Office theme song very often.
Whole host of Bulldogs
But heck, why not?
on that play. 2nd and
I think I've only been there once or twice, maybe
10 again
once.
for the Falcons.
Did not see Michael Scott. Pam, Jim, Dwight, none of them. Saw some pretty good football, though. And the two teams meet in November there. Wow, did Hodges make the catch? He did at the 34.
Michael Hodge, what a catch.
And Haynes was defending well. Hodges was just catching better.
34-yard line.
And that is definitely a play that gets you outside of the shadow of your own end zone. Out to the 34 where it is first down and 10. Six-point Bulldog lead. Falcons held an advantage for a minute. And off given to Edwards. And Edwards will
Maurice Edwards
lurch
carry,
forward to the
on the
43.
tackle.
Gain of 8, bringing up a second down and 2.
Second and a couple of yards.
This Lackawanna
42
Georgia
yard
Military
line.
College series has not always been a 2-game series, nor has it been played in Pennsylvania or Georgia. There was a big part of the series where they found a neutral, kind of a halfway between site. Edwards, I think, got the first to the 44.
Jordan Haynes on that tackle.
I know these two teams have met at James Madison, at Marshall. I think it was Virginia Tech, maybe. And I guess about 5, maybe 6 years ago, started playing on a home turf, and maybe a little less than that, started going to a couple of games a year. Pass caught and knocked out of bounds near midfield is Harper.
Jones, number 21, forced him out of bounds.
It'll be a gain of 6, bringing up a second down and 4.
4 or 5 yards. They're on our 49-yard line.
Clock headed towards the 3-minute mark. On a second down and 4, just inside Bulldog territory at the 49. Penalty flag flies. Pass is caught. Hodges on the reception, but let's see if it stands. There is a yellow hanky in an area that, well, let's see. I don't know that that necessarily is in a spot where it could be an offensive infraction.
Defense.
And that's going to be an
The penalty's
offside.
decline. Is all the players
And it'll be
first
declined. They like the pass play to Hodges better than the 5-yard pickup on the infraction. So it is a first down and 10. These teams have been helping one another. Falcons helped the Bulldogs on their last scoring drive with costly infractions. And now you got a costly Bulldog infraction that is aiding the Falcon cause. Gain of a yard on the Edwards carry.
Foster.
Inside the 35 to the
Very
34.
on those tackles. Or that tackle. Second and about 9 for the Falcons.
Brings up a second down and 9. We are nearing the 2-minute mark. Of course, now in college football, you get a timeout at the 2-minute mark without using one. So let's see if Lackawanna gets a playoff before we hit 2. Just before. No gain from Edwards.
Bennett on the tackle again.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
Amir Hopper, 92, also.
2-minute timeout, 2014 Bulldogs, Lackawanna.
Here's the fourth song.
Trying to get something before halftime.
The Fudge Cake.
Just about all white. Jones County diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it. A minute 56 left to play in the opening half. Bulldogs with a 6-point lead. Mulva in the backfield beside cornerback Hagan on a 3rd and 9. And there is a flag. And you got a false start.
False start. Offense number 61.
Turns it into a 3rd and 14. Small penalty. Let's see how large it looms, though, as it substantially adds to the 3rd down. Still got to get it inside the 25, but now you got to do it from the 39. Hagan looking, firing, got a receiver open, just a little too much with a toss.
16 back there on defense.
Wow, that was inches away from 6. Nickens Yazar, who has only caught 1 pass this year, but it was for a touchdown.
Bland Jr.
Got behind the DBs. But Hagan led him just a little bit too much. And we will see our first Michael Hartshorn kick of the afternoon. And that one is going to go out of bounds way upfield, but got a penalty flag. It's in the vicinity of the kicker, which often would indicate something against the punter. Or not against, but it happened to the punter. So let's see what. Well, there's so much conversation going on. I'm looking to see if there is another flag on the field, but I don't see an additional flag. So the conversation apparently is all focused on that one lying at the 49.
Holding on the kicking team, number 40.
It's going to be
10 yards
holding.
Tacked on to the end of the kick, 1st down.
So the penalty yardage is going to be tacked on to the end of the kick, which gives us a clue as to when the hold took place.
A little bit of good news there. Puts us up to about the...
And it will put the Bulldogs at 45, where it is 1st down and 10 with a minute 45 to play in the half. An erroneous assumption that with a flag there was probably a roughing the kicker. Instead, the hold. And the Bulldogs with a 1st down and 10 to the 45. Trying to build a little more comfort before going into the locker room at halftime. Cooper keeps it. And he won't get anything. Loses a yard or 2. I'm not saying the injury that kept Cooper out of the game last week is maybe still inhibiting him. But you begin to wonder, when you did sit out and you are not, at least in the moment, the Chip Cooper that we've grown accustomed to. Incomplete pass brings up a 3rd down and 11.
That'll bring up a 3rd down. close to 10 yards.
Lackawanna's got a couple of timeouts left.
45.
The Bulldogs do not convert. Expect the TO. Third down 10, football near the 45. And now there is a Bulldog timeout. An important play. Just prior to halftime, and Bulldogs want to make sure they have gotten it right.
The University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus.
Third down and 10. Cooper on the option. He'll be dropped just across the 45 to the 46. And it'll be fourth down, and Lackawanna will now call a timeout with 1:18 left to play.
Timeout, Lackawanna.
In half number
Their
one.
Second on the half. Game clock, please reset the time to 1 minute, 20 seconds. Thank you.
Cole Snyder back to punt.
Cole Snyder ready to kick it away after the Lackawanna timeout. Both teams with a timeout left in the first half. And let's see if they come after the kick or try to set up a return. They do not come after the kick. And there's not much of a return. Blackwell dropped right about the 14. And it'll be 86 yards from pay dirt, or about 50, make that 61-ish yards away from field goal range with 1:12 left to play in half
Everyone
number
can
one.
Start here and go anywhere by attending GMC. Our main campus is always ready to help you get enrolled today. Check out our website at
Don't forget, Courtney Morgan at halftime will update you on scores from elsewhere. Take a look at the first half here, all at halftime. And hope at halftime that you'll reach over and click that subscribe button and get our YouTube subscriber numbers climbing. Not happy with them. Of course, we could have 500,000 and we wouldn't be happy with them. Pass caught over the middle. Ball is loose. Lackawanna able to get it back. Almost another costly Lackawanna turnover. And it'll bring up a second down and 8.
Second down for the Falcons, about 6 yards.
Clock rolling, and it now appears as though Lackawanna says, okay, let's get conservative, just run the clock out, be satisfied with the 6-point deficit. The incomplete pass. just for good measure.
Jones, number 5.
Emmanuel
He said,
Gayami
"No, we're not
says,
having any of
I'll
that."
run it into the end zone, but
Number 5.
it is
Jerry
incomplete.
Jones.
That does, though, stop the clock with 9 seconds remaining in the half. And let's see if a somewhat conservative Lackawanna team, well, they do let the time run out.
All right, here's your last trivia song prior to
Incomplete
halftime.
passes
Last
typically
song
don't,
coming
but
up.
Lackawanna content with going to the locker room. Down by 6, Bulldogs. Well, I don't know if they're content. Had the 13-point jump start to quarter number 1, but do have the lead going into the locker room at halftime.
Name of the singer.
A recap of the first half. Scores from elsewhere, Courtney Morgan and more. When we return, it is halftime.
All right, we have some
And
very
at the
special
half,
people gathering at the
Bulldogs
50
by 6.
this afternoon.
The final episode of the Pest Control Guys. It's the competition that could win them the biggest contract of their life for Karen Moneybags. You won't believe what happens when we let the guys inside the house. It's 3 guys up for 1 contract. Only one can say, I do accept the contract. Next on the Pest Control Guys. Sponsored by Bughouse Pest Control. Protect your house with Bughouse.
Ryan Butts and Millie Park.
It is halftime of the half. Georgia Military College
Thank
with
you
a
guys for
2014
everything you do for our
lead
cadets.
over Lackawanna. And
Now, at
our
the
coverage each
50-yard
and
line,
every Saturday
a very
afternoon
special
made possible
presentation.
by some outstanding sponsors. If they weren't doing this, we couldn't do
We're
this.
thrilled to have family members.
So
of
thank
these
you very
4
much.
cadets here with us
Folks
this
like
weekend. We
CBiz
appreciate the solid
helping to provide
foundation our
coverage of
cadets
Georgia
and student
Military
athletes
College
have
football
received
this
from
year.
their families
Enos
and the
Legal,
opportunity
the
to build on
auto
that during
accident
their
firm.
time at GMC.
GAAutoaccidentfirm.com is where you find them online.
For the next step in their education.
Yep, after the game, there's a great spot to go watch other games. Pickle Barrel, the Pickle Barrel Cafe here in Milledgeville.
Our alumni and sponsors.
Don't have to, but while you're there, you probably would want to get one of those Cokes. Bugs in the house, then getting rid of them. Bughouse Pest Control also brought to you by Ortho Georgia, the orthopedic specialists, and by Georgia Military College. Don't forget, too, still raising money for the athletic department.
Martin Moses,
And if you want more info, scan the QR code.
1968 is an outstanding example of the leaders forged here.
One half of football, Bulldogs got the scoring started at 28-yard Traquan Jones run with 13:09 to play in quarter number 1. The extra point failed. First one missed by Perez this season. But it was the Bulldogs up 6-0. They went up 13-0 at the 11:35 mark. After a fumble recovery, Kenshin punches it in from 10 yards out. This time, Perez good. It's a 13-0 game. But coming back is Lackawanna. 4:23 to play in the quarter. Hagan finds Edwards on a 7-yard touchdown strike. The kick followed. It was a 13-7 game. And Lackawanna takes their first lead of the game at the 11:08 mark. It was Edwards running it in from 2 yards out. The Hughes extra point kick good. 14-13 Lackawanna. But less than a minute later, at the 10-10 mark, Phillips, a 33-yard touchdown run for the Bulldogs. Perez good on the extra point kick. And that's where we are at the half. 2014 Georgia Military College. Well, I mentioned there is Football later tonight, too, right here on JockJive. Allen University and Point University football, a 7 o'clock start. And we will have it for you right here. Volleyball, your cup of tea, coming up on Wednesday. We head down to Alabama. Coastal Alabama South and Bishop State. That's a big conference matchup. And then on Friday, Coastal South will take on the Bevel Bears. Bears hang around, and the next day we'll take on Coastal Alabama North. And speaking of North, later Saturday, a week from today, they've got Pearl River. And how about a week from today? Off to New York, Bulldogs and Monroe University with a 1 o'clock kickoff, and it is all right here on JockJive. And conversation with ladies soccer coach Courtney Morgan. It's coming up in just a few.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby, got me falling hard for you. And still, I felt this way before, you know it's true. And still, you got me more and more. Oh, you got me falling hard.
Great to have with us as our guest today, Courtney Morgan, who is the head women's soccer coach there in Georgia Military College. Coach, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing great. First of all, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to chat with us. We are doing this, by the way, recording it a little in advance. So it's played back at halftime of the Lackawanna Georgia Military College football game. So for folks who know that there is a Friday night soccer match, just want to explain that. So we may talk about things that don't necessarily pertain to Friday. Coach, I want to get a little information on you. I always like to, the first time I speak to a coach, get a little background, what brought you to Georgia Military College and what specifically brought you to become the head coach women's soccer-wise at the college.
Yes, so I am actually been here for 12 years. Right out of college, I knew I wanted to be a soccer coach. I didn't know in what form, if that was high school, if it was club, or if it was in college. I started here as the assistant coach. I was the men and women's assistant coach for about a year and a half. And then Bert Williams gave me the opportunity to take over the women's side. And the rest was history. I decided to become a soccer coach because when I was in college, I tore my ACL the first game of a season, and it was, a sad day. And I decided, my coach came up to me and was like, I still want you to be around. I want you to kind of be like my assistant coach and just help with the girls. And throughout that season, I was like, you get paid to do this? I can do this. This is what I want to do. So it was a blessing in disguise, but that's how I got here.
As a matter of fact, that was what I was going to ask you in regards to the torn ACL. It had to be very difficult. I mean, it's your senior year, too. It's not like you've got an opportunity to come back. So up to that point, had coaching ever crossed your mind as a possible stay around soccer kind of thing, or did it pop up based exclusively on the injury?
It had not crossed my mind at all. Being a woman, at the time, there was not a lot of women coaches, so that really did not cross my mind. But him giving me that opportunity and seeing that side of the game, really, he helped with that decision. And graduating, I was able actually to come back for a half a year. So they were able to redshirt me. So I did come back for a fifth year season and finish out. And I was like, what can I do next? I got a job after I graduated in December at a high school, because high school season's in the spring, and it just kind of took off from there.
Let's go back beyond that, beyond the injury, and what originally brought about your love of the game of soccer?
Wow. I grew up in the family of soccer. Both my brothers, they are also soccer coaches, not at the college level, but they coach high in the club. My family was just a sport family. Every weekend we were at the soccer fields. I've been playing since I was 3, and I just didn't see my life without soccer. And, like I told you, 12 years ago, there wasn't a lot of women coaches. So being able to be like a leader for some of these girls and have looking up to, and it just took from there.
Now, are you originally a Georgia product?
Yeah, so I'm from Conyers, Georgia. I went to Heritage High School.
Soccer, it is growing, obviously, in interest across the United States, but it's not and wasn't, back in your days when you were 3 years of age, a premier sport from the standpoint of fan interest. So, is it a little unusual that you did fall in love as a Georgia product, or am I stereotyping that love of the game?
Well, no, actually. My dad grew up big baseball. His whole life was baseball and hockey. And when my 2 older brothers, he was trying to get them into baseball, and they did not like it at all. I remember the stories they would tell me that they would cry at the plate. So we had, they introduced them to soccer, and both of them fell in love with the soccer. And so my dad shifted, and, he fell in love with the game and became big into the sport as well.
I guess that could be a little problematic. If you go to the plate and you're crying, that could be an issue in developing the game. All right, so you go to Georgia Military, 3 years as an assistant, men's and women's, and then become the head coach. Thank you very much to the late, great Bert Williams. The 10 years since 2014 to this moment, now a decade there in Georgia Military College. I'm assuming, like any job, when you take over, you kind of have a plan. You want to be here at this point. You want to be there at this point. Are you where you want to be at Georgia Military College from a standpoint of the success of the women's soccer program?
I feel like we can always grow. I tell the girls every year, we start in August, and I said we need to be at our best in October. We have been pretty successful making it to the championship games a lot, but just finishing that championship game, we've had a lot of runner-ups. We've only won it twice, and just keep pushing the girls to be their absolute best when the time is right. And I say we peak. We need to peak in October. We need to be playing our best soccer in October to make it to the playoffs and eventually making it to that championship game.
2 titles, the end of the championship game. That is a huge gold star. It says something about your success there at Georgia Military College. And this year, I look at the stats, and you're in the top of the leaderboard in, all the offensive categories. You're atop the standings. You're 5-1-1, the only loss coming to a nationally ranked team. So is this, comparatively speaking, one of the better Georgia Military College teams, or would you compare it to a prior year?
I do think this team is very special. They're very strong in all aspects of the sport. Not only are they good on the field, but they're good off the field. Like, they're very nice girls. They all get along. They all, some years you have, your cliques, and they separate. But in women's soccer, that's a big thing. But this team is it's special in its own way, because the niceness, the kindness, and the way they work together as a team, it's just, sometimes it's hard to see that, and it's just nice to see. And I'm just proud of the girls that we have this year. We have 24 on the roster, and they all support one of each other. They all work hard for one of each other. And in the JUCO level, I tell the girls every year is a new team, because, we have 19 freshmen. And every year, we have a brand new team. So it's just making sure we all come in together and have the same mindset.
Where do you go to pull talent for your team? Is it exclusively Georgia? Do you go to other states, other parts of the world as well?
So our team is mostly Georgia. We do have 2 players that are not from Georgia. We have one from Florida, and we have one from Illinois. But our core group is from Georgia. We try, and we have really good parent support, and I love that about this team. We travel. Bulldogs travel. That's our motto.
I looked at the record this year, and you've got a couple of teams that you have not played yet, but as a matter of fact, you do this weekend. One you played when this is being aired last night on Friday, and then, of course, the other on Monday against Gordon. So Oxford and Gordon still to come. You are unbeaten in region play. What about those 2 teams? What do you look for?
I've told the girls we haven't completed a 90-minute game yet, and that's what I'm looking for all of them. A whole, once you get on that field, we complete a whole 90 minutes with – it's not that they're making mistakes. It's just the heart and pushing themselves. Emory and Gordon are going to be good teams, and we can't just look over them. We got to go in, and we got to play our game, and if we can do that, we should be successful.
5-1-1 and not in the top 15. And your only loss is to a top 15 team. Is Georgia Military at this particular point getting the attention they deserve from a national perspective?
I think so. Like I said, the one loss we did have, the score didn't show how the game actually went, I felt. But we didn't put together a complete game. I think if we competed a little bit better in that game, then I think we should have been in some talks. But I think I like where we are right now. We don't have targets on our back except for our conference. We have a target on our back. But I tell the girls, let people talk, and let's just finish our business on the field.
When you look at the standings, South Georgia State is the team that is second in the conference. Based on that, an outsider like me is like, okay, they're the number 2 team in the conference. Is that legitimately true? I mean, is the current status as the number 2 team, would you consider them the team Georgia Military College needs to knock off a second time as well?
At this stage, I wouldn't be able to answer that because we haven't played the same teams. Like, they've played Emory, they've played Gordon. And we've only played them, so I haven't seen the same teams we've played that they've played. So, as of right now, looking at the standings, yes, I think they are exactly where they need to be. But I only can say that because we haven't played the same teams.
What is an acceptable year for you this year at Georgia Military College? Is it a win-loss mark? Is it a certain level of play? Is it reaching a certain level postseason-wise? What's an acceptable year?
For me, it's the play mark. Are we playing our best soccer? Win and losses, I won't be mad at my team if we lose. If we're playing our game and we're playing a complete 90-minute match, the wins will come if we do that. So to me, it's continuing to grow as a team, not just one player, but all players on my team. I tell the girls, if we're not better than we were in August, then I didn't do my job right. So it's just making sure that we are playing GMC soccer and not worrying about the outside noise. And, the best thing for us would be to compete in another championship, to be able to go to the district championship in Florida.
Before I let you go, I've got to focus a little bit on individual players. Who are the standouts this year for GMC?
Well, actually, this week, Leslie Ortega was named GCAA Player of the Week. Last week, she had an impressive, I think it was 3 goals and 2 assists. So, we got to give her a shout out. Our forward, Faith, she got the 2 goals against South Georgia on Tuesday night to have us in the lead for a 2-1 win. We have freshman Mackenzie Williams in goal, and she did a fantastic job on Tuesday. But yeah, it's just not 1 or 2 players. It really is a complete team. Miracle Malak, she was GCAA Player of the Year last year as a defender, which not many defenders get a lot of recognition because they're not scoring the goals. But she made such a big step where coaches would say, oh, look at her. Like, it's hard to get by her. So my goalkeeper shouldn't have to work as hard because she's smart in the game, she's fast, and she is a good leader.
Coach, congratulations. Great career already and expecting tremendous things, not only this year, but in the future as well for Georgia Military College women's soccer. And thanks for being our halftime guest.
All right, no problem. Thank you. Go Dogs.
Officials for today's game: referee Adam Stimmel, umpire Brian Fitzgerald, Antoine Stewart, your linesman, Freddie Stewart, the line judge, Cole Everett, the side judge, Carlos Perry, the field judge, back judge Ken Johnson, electric clock operator Danny Everett, and Miss Cheryl Stewart on the play clock. Doing a great job as always.
We head into quarter number 3, and a lot of our GMC viewers already know what we do in the third. I'm already getting shout-outs. But for those of you who don't, here's what we do all third quarter long. In addition to watching Georgia Military College Lackawanna football, and that is give you a chance to do a little cyber cheering. Wherever you may be watching the game, returned from the 13 out to the 22, return of 9 by Jefferson. And that is where Lackawanna will take over first down and 10. I won't say it. I won't mention how important the opening drive is, especially down by a score for Lackawanna and up by a score for Georgia Military. I'm just not going to bring it up. We're going to talk about shout-outs. So what you do if you are a newcomer to our shout-outs is pick up the phone and text me. 334-488-1385. Now, typically we'll get a call or two. I would love to talk, but, got to call a little play-by-play. So if you will text me, I'll read it. High snap disrupts the play just a little bit, and that was enough for the Bulldogs to shove Edwards backwards. And no gain on the play, actually a loss of a couple of yards, bringing up a second down and 2. And we'll do it all third quarter long. So if the third quarter goes quickly, you may not have a whole lot of time to shout out. If it takes a while, you got plenty of time. The number 334-488-1385. It is attached to your scoreboard. And here's what we're looking for in your shout out. Who's it to? Hagan keeping it. Well, now he kind of wishes he had. Might have got the 2 yards lost by Edwards back, but that's about it. Third and long. Who's it to? Who's it from? And where are you watching from? We'd like to know that, too. You don't have to get real precise. We don't want street addresses. Just part of the country, part of the world. If you're watching in a dorm or the Waffle House or the parking lot of the Walmart, that kind of stuff. On a third down and 10, Hagan overlooks the field, steps up. He will fire, and it is picked off.
21 on the reception.
Interception by Kasai Jones.
Kasai Jones.
And Georgia Military had a first half turnover. They get a second half turnover.
Bulldog defense with first and 10.
It was a fumble in the first half. And it is a pick in half number 2. All right, to some shout-outs. Shout-out to my grandson, J.C. Coney, number 31 from Nana in Ohio, saying go Dogs. That was perfect. That's a gold star shout-out. Got everything we wanted. Who it's to, who it's from, and they're in Ohio. Shout-out to number 8, Keenan Phillips from Ramey's, Monroe, Georgia. Go Dogs. Thank you very much, Monroe. First down and 10. Handoff given to Jones, and Jones Boy, had some help from some friends.
Up to about the 20.
Ball came out, but apparently came out after the fact. And Jones is going to pick up 9, close to 10, bringing up a second down and short. And maybe a slightly injured Isaiah Turner. He is coming to the sidelines. And there is a penalty flag.
To the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense, number 75.
And it was an unsportsmanlike
Half the distance to the
call
goal.
that came after the play,
First down.
half the distance to the goal. Shout out to Brian Pulley. Kevin and Megan watching you do your thing. Got the flexed bicep emoji. Keep working. And thank you. Robert, I'm Tom Ferguson, SID at Lackawanna, watching from Scranton. Well, thank you very much. Tom, great to have you on the other end of the broadcast. Is it a little cooler in Scranton, PA than it is here in Georgia today? I would think so. It is hot. But good to have you watching. SID Tom Ferguson. And I've given to Kinchin.
Trey Kinchin on the carry.
And Kinchin will make his way down
Inside
to the 10. Where it is a second down.
Might have picked up a yard.
And right at
Second
9,
down.
Bulldogs can pick up a first without scoring, but they would have to get inside the 1. I don't think anybody was ready for the snap except Chip Cooper. And hey, it turns into 6.
Trenton Smith, if it's
Trenton
good, it's a
Smith
flag
on the
down.
receiving end.
What a catch.
Man, that looked like nobody was ready for the snap except Chip Cooper and Trenton Smith. But that's all you needed for 6. And it happens from 9 yards out. I think a flag came in late, too. I don't know if that was a extra jubilant celebration after the fact. It's in that vicinity. And Cooper will have his 5th touchdown toss of the season. And Smith, who was relatively quiet until a week ago, boy, he's become a favorite target.
Encroachment. Defense. That penalty is declined. Touchdown is good.
19.
After the play.
Well, it
Unsportsmanlike.
was
On the sideline.
offsides.
A 15-yard penalty will be enforced.
And
on the
now there is a
kickoff.
penalty charge to the Bulldogs, and I am assuming that that is going to be the after TD celebration. But the touchdown strike of 9 yards to Smith stands. And Perez will try to tack on the extra point.
Perez
He will.
going after.
Bulldogs by 13. Okay, I'm creating a little bit of a shout-out backlog, so let me get this up. To Jordan McCray from Kenneth and Cynthia Edwards. Shout out to Coach Duda and his coaches and team. Let's go Falcons. Got the heart emoji. Mom Dukes. Coy's mom. Thank you very much. Shout out to Kamar and Gray, number 63, from your family in Fayetteville, Georgia, and in Miami, Florida. Shout out to number 20, Quan Floyd. Auntie Gwen in Cocoa, Florida. Love you. Shout out to number 28, Ganamama Malba from Penn State. Go Falcons. Shout out to Nair, number 9. Love you. Philly. And the heart emoji as well after the penalty yardage. They booted away from deep inside their own territory, and Jefferson with a good return. And Lackawanna will have excellent field position inside Bulldog territory in the 40.
inside our 50.
Shout out to Keenan Phillips
Down to
from
our
the Marshalls and
39
Climax,
yard line.
Georgia. We love our
First
greats.
down.
64, Mikhail Reed from Baxley, Georgia. Go Dogs. Shout out to number 40, Damari Jordan. Love you, son. Dad Zeus and Samantha. We love you. I know I talked about it last week. I want a Zeus type name. I like that name. Shout out Nair Graham. I see you out there, big dog, says the shout out. Handoff given to Edwards, and Edwards breaking free into the end zone. Touchdown. No penalty flags and a 40-yard jaunt from Edwards, and just like that, Lackawanna back to within a score. Did I mention in the first half? It is what you get when the Falcons and the Bulldogs tangle. Bulldogs scored 17 seconds ago. And Lackawanna has drawn back to within a touchdown. Kick up and good.
Keegan Hughes with the point after.
The pathways to opportunities are endless at Georgia Military College. Since 1879, we have transformed students into effective leaders and engaged citizens, grounded in civility and respect for others. Whether you want a traditional college experience, something closer to home, or education online that suits your schedule, Georgia Military College is committed to helping you succeed. Start here. Go anywhere.
Catch the rest of the college football games this afternoon.
There was a penalty on the kick. It was declined. It was an offsides against the Bulldogs. So the extra point, good. It's a 27-21 contest. Niles back deep to receive. Relatively short kick. And Niles will make his way to the 30.
Miles on the carry. Looked like he got up to
So
about
that is where the
30
Bulldogs
yard
will
line.
take
Nice
over
effort.
first down and 10. 12:07 to play in quarter number 3 in a 27-21 contest. Shout out to Isaiah Turner, number 62. The shout out says, "Go Dogs," with a lot of S's. Shout out Mike and Daryl from the DMV. Show them where y'all from.
Allen takes the
With that
field, number 78.
flexed bicep emoji
Big
again.
center for the Bulldogs.
First down and
Mom
10.
and Dad love him to death.
Football at the 30. Handoff given to Phillips. And Phillips will try the middle of that Lackawanna defense. Pick up maybe a yard. To Gabe Pierce, number 61 from Nana and Pawpaw, watching from Fitzgerald. We love you.
Might have picked up a yard.
Shout out to Christian Shine. We love you from Mom and Dad. Shout out Corchado, number 31. Love Mom. Shout out to Leland from the Ruffs and Comptons at Ocean Isle Beach. I wonder if that is Leland Reddy, who is up on top of the box, calling the plays for the Bulldogs. Across the 35, near the 38-yard line. And I'm waiting for the bodies to clear to tell you who that was on the carry. Whoops.
32 for the Dogs.
And it's Phillips. I told you I'm trying to multitask. Trying to do shout-outs and camera working more. Got a little bit of a jump, and that may be enough for the first on a 3rd and 3. The cadence change by Cooper.
Offside. Defense.
And it is offside.
5-yard penalty. Results first down.
First down, Bulldogs.
So the penalty yardage will give a first down to the Bulldogs. I would love to see at the end of the game how many times penalty yardage on both teams allowed the other team to pick up a first. We've seen it frequently. First down and 10, football at the 43. Give goes to Phillips.
Phillips again on the carry.
And Phillips across the 45 to the 46. Shout out to number 5, Jakari Jones from Monroe, Georgia, and Granddad.
About 7 yards.
Shout out Elijah Solomon, number 23, Lackawanna Mom, Dukes and Pops, watching from PG County in Maryland. Thank you very much, Maryland. Mom, Dukes and Pops. I hope I'm reading this correctly. Good chance I'm not. Shout out to Mikhail Roberts, number 16, from Mom and JB in Warner Robins, Georgia. Pass is intercepted. First pick of the year for Chip Cooper, and Jefferson is inside the 30. First Bulldog turnover, and it is big. Down to the 30-yard line where it is first down and 10. Lackawanna down by a score. Shout out to Nathan Dimming, 96 of the Falcons. Holding your head, champ, from Dad. Well, thank you very much, Mom Dukes and the Falcons. We appreciate the kind words of the coverage. We appreciate you watching. From, I think, Maryland, right? Shout out to Jordan B.B. McCray from McCray, as in Georgia. From Sammy Lee. First and 10. Handoff given to Edwards. And Edwards down to the 26.
Gain of about 4 or 5 yards.
Second and 6.
For the Falcons.
Shout out to GMC Bulldog number 14, Tanner Enos, from his sister Harper. Shout out to Adrian Bohinski of Lackawanna. Love from Mom in northeastern Minnesota. It's got to be a little more pleasant there. Incomplete pass. We'll bring up a 3rd down and 6.
3rd down for the Falcons.
Lackawanna trying to take advantage of the turnover. Bulldogs trying to keep Lackawanna from taking advantage of the turnover. Shout out to number 17, Andrew Marshall, from your brother Robbie in Carroll, Ohio. Go Falcons. Nowhere for Edwards to go. And it'll bring up a 4th down and long.
That was Mr. Hicks on that tackle.
And if you're looking at field goal, that may be just out of Hughes' range. His longest has been 41. I would say that would be about a 47-yard effort. Shout out to Keegan Hughes, number 30. Lackawanna, go Scranton Kid, from Mom and Dad. Shout out to Walker Hicks, number 41, from Aunt Shannon, Granny, and Jack in Belmont, North Carolina. We love you tons. Well, at the moment, it appears as though Lackawanna will go for it on a 4th and 10. Apparently, they will indeed. Pass caught over the middle. And Harper, I think, has got enough for the first. Well, those have been daggers to the Bulldogs today. Those 3rd and long, those 4th down situations that the Falcons have been able to convert. Shout out Victor Holt, number 33, from your big brother Dylan, watching in Oliphant, Pennsylvania. Keep working. Wish I could be there with Mom and Dad. Love you. Got the heart emoji and the flexed bicep emoji. Edwards with a yard or two on the carry brings up a second down.
Maurice Edwards on that carry, a couple of Bulldogs.
Shout out to Keenan Phillips from the Hitchcocks in
15-yard line.
Bainbridge, Georgia. We love you. Shout out to number 56, Jalen Bennett from Baxley, Georgia. Go Dogs and the flexed bicep emoji. Number 19, Landon Vickers from your big brother at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Go Dogs. Hagan fires over the middle. Pass is caught, and into the end zone goes Harper.
Touchdown, Falcons.
19-yard touchdown strike. Hagan's second of the game. And Lackawanna will grab an opportunity for the lead at the 7:06 mark. Hughes trying to tack on the extra point. He'll do it. And the Falcons by 1.
Hughes with the point after.
The final episode of the Pest Control Guys. It's the competition that could win them the biggest contract of their life. The final episode of the Pest Control Guys. It's the competition that could win them the biggest contract of their life for Karen Moneybags. You won't believe what happens when we let the guys inside the house. It's 3 guys up for 1 contract. Only one can say, I do accept the contract. Next on the Pest Control Guys. Sponsored by Bug House Pest Control. Protect your house with Bug House.
The last 1-point Lackawanna lead lasted less than a minute. Bulldogs are hoping for the same here. After Lackawanna takes the advantage on a Hagan touchdown strike of 19 yards to Harper. Big shout out to Lackawanna's number 56, Chris Big Country Campanelli. Return from the 17 by Bland. Still on his feet to the 40, to the 45, to the 48-yard line.
81. What a run back.
And the Bulldogs will have excellent field position to begin this drive. Down by 1. I feel relatively confident in saying that the current score will not be the final score. And maybe a long way from it. Shout out to Traquan Big Q Jones. Watch party in Bartow. Love Big Cuz. Thank you very much. Good to have you watching. Shout out to the Falcons O-line from DKB. Shout out to GMC's number 1, Jalen Flood of Monroe, Georgia. Your family's so proud of you. And go Dogs. Shout out to Coy Rainey, number 75, Falcons, from his family in Lindenwold, New Jersey. Handoff given to Jones, and Jones bursting across midfield to the 49.
Up past the 50.
Shout out to BB number 12 from Lumber City. Shout out number 31, Slimebacker, J.C. Coney, Uncle Drell, and Uncle Jesse. See ya. Shout out to number 20, Quan Floyd from the Floyd family. We love you. Number 5, Lack from Illinois, Georgia born, says the shout out. Spinning, turning, twisting, Jones gaining a yard.
Jones on the carry.
And it will bring up a 3rd down. We'll call it 4, maybe closer to a 5.
On the Falcons' 48-yard
Shout out
line.
to Zamian from Mom, Dad, and family from Allentown, Pennsylvania. Shout out from the Edie family to our nephew, J.C. Coney. Love you big. Shout out simply says redemption forever. And other than that, Nathan Deming highlight reel on YouTube is crazy. And let's see what kind of emojis. Is that the money? the bicep, the ring. Cooper keeps it and then tossed it back to Jones, and Jones into the end zone. Touchdown.
Raekwon Jones, he must have got it from Cooper.
I don't think it was by design,
Raekwon Jones.
but it worked. Raekwon Jones, 47 yards.
Number 6, Raekwon Jones.
Extra point kick. Up and good. By golly, we're going to have to go back and look at that one.
Bulldogs back on top. 5:56 in the third.
Wow. Cooper going, hey, looks like I'm stopped. We need a first. Here, take it, see what you can do with it. And all Jones did was ramble 47 yards down the field. Extra point kick, good. And it is a 34-28 score. Well, Lackawanna held on to the lead a little less than a minute last time. This time, a little more than a minute, about a minute 10. And Georgia Military College able to get the advantage back. But again, I'm thinking this is not your final score. That'll go into the end zone. Be brought out to the 25. And that is where Lackawanna will take over first down and 10.
Falcons will take over on their 20-yard line over the 25.
Shout out to number 51, Masai King. Your daddy love you, Slime. Shout out to Masai King, number 51. Lackawanna, we love you. Love Kai and family. We're going to try to get to them all in the third. Shout out to number 7, Jordan Turner, for mom and family in Charleston, South Carolina. Go Dogs with the 2 heart emojis. Shout out to Quadu. Shout out to Aaron Reinhardt, number 46 on Lackawanna, from your watch party in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. First down and 10. Handoff given to Edwards. Edwards bouncing into the outside on his feet to the 32.
Tony McRae on the tackle.
He will pick up close to 8, bringing up a second down and short.
2nd and 4 for the Falcons.
Shout out to C.I. Shine, number 37. Lackawanna, from your family in Collinswood, New Jersey. Shout out to number 46 on Lackawanna. Keep going, Boo. Shout out to Khalif Kemp, number 24, Falcons. Mom and Dad love you deep. And the heart emoji. Edwards to near the 35.
Benton,
and will be just shy of a first, 3rd and very short.
3rd and 1.
And that shout out to Andrew Marshall, number 17, from Grandma, Grandpa, and Uncle David in Cape Coral, is for the Falcons. Handoff given to Edwards. He'll be dropped. Needed 1, lost 1. And it'll bring up a 4th down and 1. Okay, the shout out. I read it wrong. Shout out to Josiah Woods, number 36 for Lackawanna, from Porter Miggs and Quez. Redemption forever.
Good hold for the Dogs. Big down.
I didn't read the whole shout out. See what happens when you get, you're kind of like an elder. Probably, you qualify for the senior citizen discount. And then you're trying to multitask. And Excuses, I know. Who needs them? Fair catch called for.
Bland Jr. with a
Made by
fair
Bland
catch
at the
at
32.
33. Bulldogs with a 1st and 10. Good defensive hold.
Shout out to number 27, Tamarian Peters, from your family in Eatonton. Another shout out for Big Q Jones, making it look so easy. Can you please send a shout out to my brother Galamama Malba? Tell him I am proud of him. His sister Katie from Delaware. We sure will, Katie. Shout out to Najir Kibador, your family and friends proud of you from Brooklyn, New York. Number 42 of Lackawanna. First down and 10. Big stop on 3rd and short for Georgia Military, forcing the punt. And now the Bulldogs with the football, 3:47 to play in the 3rd.
Second and 7.
Number 19, let me find that shout out again. It's Kevin Daughtry from Granddad and Grandma in Smithville, New Jersey. Shout out Nair Graham, number 9, Lackawanna, all the way from Camden, New Jersey. And I'll give it to Phillips, and Phillips trying to shed himself of Falcons will be dropped after a yard loss. 3rd and long coming up.
Let's see where they're going to spot it.
And also that shout out from Sister Katie in Delaware to Galamama Malba includes Katie's love.
Down for the Dogs.
Go number 46 Bulldogs. Watched it last week in Vancouver, British Columbia. In Statesboro, Georgia this week. Love you, grandparents. And we're glad you could watch it from there and here. Cooper got a receiver open. Twisting all around trying to bring in the toss was Trenton Smith. And it'll be an incomplete pass to bring up a 4th down and long.
Coming up for the Dogs.
Cole Schneider back to kick. Keon Scott watching all the way from Cocoa, Florida. We want to give a big shout out to Quan Floyd, number 20. Hold it down, little cuz. End over in, kick fielded at the 19. And into the 35, where it'll be 1st down and 10, Lackawanna. Shout out number 9, Nair Graham. Dad loves you, and the family is proud of you.
Falcons with a 1st down on their 35-yard line.
Nickens, Zaire 84, and all the Falcons. Let's go from Petersburg, Virginia. Shout out to our hometown NEPA, I guess it would be Northeast Pennsylvania, local players on Lackawanna. Keegan Hughes, number 30. Victor Holt, number 33. Chris Conte, number 44. Good luck to the Lackawanna football team the rest of the season. From the Agape Freedom Sports Podcast. Hey, thank you very much, podcasters, for checking in. Complete pass over the middle. Ball loose. Lackawanna falls on it. Alertly there for the recovery is Harper.
31 on the tackle.
Shout out to number 47, Darian Smith, and the entire Bulldogs team from Baxley, Georgia.
At the 48-yard line.
Shout out to Victor Holt, number 33, from his girlfriend, Krista Cortazar, and the Cortazar family. We're so proud of you. Keep up the hard work. As Hagan drops back, looks, and passes incomplete. Well, actually, it was complete, but to a sub on the sidelines.
Out there, Daryl Harper.
And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Again, that shout out from the Cortazar family. We wish we could be there today, but we're cheering you and your team on from home. Kristen loves you. Got the heart emoji. Edwards will run out of bounds in midfield. And it'll be a 3rd and long for Lackawanna. Lackawanna, number 19, Kevin Daughtry. Shout out from Aunt Diane in Largo, Florida. Hey, thank you very much. The shout out to us for the live stream every weekend. And a big thank you. Well, a big thank you to you for watching. 3rd down and 8 football to the 49 of the Bulldogs. 1 minute left in the 3rd. Hagan drops back, looks, pass caught. And that is Harper. Picking up the first inside the 36.
Jakari Jones.
Ken Frank sending a shout out to the entire Bulldog team from the AFO department. Go Dogs. Thanks, Ken. Where are you, by the way? I've not seen Ken today, but I know Ken's here. I mean, we can't play football without Ken. He's the guy that is in charge of all the operations. I mean, we're in the press box. The gate is open. The field looks great. Folks are in the stands because Ken starts the process. Hodges with a catch. Going to spin down to the 32.
16, Michael Philip Roberts with a good tackle, number 16.
Gain of 3 brings up a 2nd and 7. Thank you very much, Bob Dukes in Lindenwold, New Jersey. We appreciate you shouting out and watching. 3rd quarter comes to an end. A reminder that you can shout out on YouTube to your heart's desire anytime. We wrap up our shout outs in the 3rd, though, with 15 minutes to go in the game. All right, I'm going to try to get to a few more shout-outs because they officially came in the 3rd. Shout-out to Messiah King, number 51 from Camden, New Jersey. Shout-out from Montclair, New Jersey. Shout-out to number 26, Yuri Kalixty of GMC, your grandparents in Gordon, Georgia. Watching and sending a shout out and a Let's Go Dog. Shout out to number 2 and number 11. Says, sorry we missed it today, but we're watching and Mom and Dad loves you both, Bulldogs. Ah, you didn't miss it. We got you. Shout out to number 14 from Lackawanna, Braylon Thomas, from your family in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Head off up the middle to, I believe that is Malba.
Good for a Falcon 1st down.
And we'll pick up enough for the first inside the 25 to the 24. And a shout out to number 19 from Cousin Red and Uncle Craig. All right, there we go. All shout outs in. Everything that came in the 3rd. Thank you so much for shouting out. Regardless of what part of the country you are shouting from. And there is an injured Bulldog on the field. I believe that is Trent Mapp, currently down. Let's take a break, come right back. Well, there's Aiden Benton, who is actually down. Looks like he's okay. And reminder that after the game, we talk with Rob Manchester. And that conversation only available on YouTube.
2nd down and 1.
So if you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, there's an added incentive to do so. 2nd down and 1. Hagan to pass. Looks caught over the middle by Harper. Harper hurdles a Bulldog and tripped up at the 9. Will pick up the first.
31 stopped him. Jairus Coney.
And it is a 1st down and 10 for Lackawanna.
1st down for the Falcons on about our 10.
And apparently the nose of the football is touching the 10 because the chains are laid down, so that would indicate it is technically inside the 10. And I'll give it to Malma, and Malma down to the 7.
Gampy on that tackle, 99.
And it is a 2nd down and goal.
2nd and goal for the Falcons.
1-score Bulldog lead. Hagan dropping back to pass, looking for an open receiver. Got one in the end zone all along. Malba.
Touchdown.
And the 7-yard strike is the 3rd Hagan TD toss of the game. And the lead back over to the Falcons at the 13:04 mark. Hughes trying to add the extra point and break the current 34-all tie.
Keegan Hughes with the point.
It is good. Falcons by 1.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby, got me falling hard for you. And still, I felt this way before, you know it's true. And still, you got me more and more. Oh, you got me falling hard.
All right, got a couple of more shout-outs. Let me try to squeeze them in. Lackawanna Kadir Blackwell, number 27. Love Grandma, better known as Auntie Jill. As this one is booted to the 6. And there the return will begin by Niles. And he'll bring it out to about the 35.
Number 17.
And that's where it will be 1st
Good
down
run back.
and
Up past
10.
the 30. Like they're going to spot the ball.
All right, got a shout out from West Palm
Beach.
Beach. Shout out at number 66, Caleb Rapp. Your cousin Quandell loves you. And we're all proud of you, your family from Brooklyn. And I hear Kibador, number 42 of Lackawanna. All right, thanks for the shout outs. YouTube, great place. I mean, we'd love to do it all game long. But I guess we got to do what the boss says. Wait a minute, I don't have a boss. All right, well, we got to focus on the game. We're in the 4th. It's a 1-point contest. Niles in motion. Handoff given up the middle. And whistle stop play.
Kitchen on the carry, number 2.
pick up about 3, brings up a 2nd and 7. But again, you can shout out on YouTube, and we thank you so much for doing so in the third here. What a game between these two. It's what you get when 7 and 13 meet. It has not disappointed. Largest lead, 13. That's happened twice. Current lead, 1. On a 2nd down, we'll call it closer to a 6. Cooper to pass. Got a receiver open. Niles can't get there.
Just out of reach.
Almost, but not quite. 3rd and
Try
6.
from Chip Cooper.
By the way, I checked out some scores at the half. The most interesting one going on currently was Iowa Western and Iowa Central tied at 27 at halftime.
6.
And I'll see if I can get an updated score from there in a bit. 3rd down, 6. Cooper. Pass is caught by Jones, but he's dropped after no gain. And it'll be a 4th down and long, a punting situation.
Cole Snyder on the field for the Bulldogs.
Football on Thursday in Mississippi. Mississippi Delta beat Hines 23-7. Northwest Mississippi over Kahoma 35-16. Holmes knocks off Northeast Mississippi 41-7. Pearl River 23-20 winners over East Central. Short return by Blackwell to the 21. And that is where Lackawanna will take over. Mississippi Gulf Coast beats Southwest Mississippi 55-36. Itawamba 36-34 over East Mississippi. That may be the biggest surprise in Mississippi. East Mississippi, who was in the championship game a year ago, did get pounded by Iowa Western. When's the last time they lost 3 games in a year? And they have lost 3 of their first 4. Jones, a 21-12 winner over Colin on Thursday. Yesterday, 1 game, Monroe University. GMC's opponent next Saturday knocked off Wagner College JV 24-12. First down and 10 from the 21. Edwards will carry it to the 23 for a gain of a couple. And then your games being played as we speak. Hudson Valley 28-7 lead over Nassau. 6:21 to play in the 3rd. Garden City 69-3 over Ellsworth. And that's with less than a minute to play. Iowa Western. Well, they've broken that deadlock. It is now 41-27. Iowa Western over Iowa Central. And off to Edwards, and Edwards stopped near the 25.
Good tackle by several Bulldogs on that play.
And let's see, that's it. All the scores we've got thus far. And of course, the big game today. Kilgore and Navarro. 5 and 6 meeting in Texas. And another unbeaten will go, no matter what happens in the game. 3rd down and 8, football at the 25.
Timeout. GMC, they're first of the half.
Georgia Military College calling a timeout at the 10:25 mark with Lackawanna up by 1.
Georgia Sports Medicine Center is proud to serve our Central Georgia athletes. We offer Georgia's most comprehensive team of sports medicine fellowship trained surgeons. The well-trained staff is committed to the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Ortho Georgia is excited to support student athletics by providing a free sports injury clinic in the fall on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. The staff at Ortho Georgia works together to customize your rehabilitation program to ensure a speedy return to your activity. Remember Ortho Georgia, your home for orthopedic excellence.
Third down and long. And for the first time this afternoon, Hagan is sacked.
Hayden Benton, number 90.
15th sack of the year for the defense of Georgia Military, but it's their first of the day. And it'll bring up a 4th and long in a punting situation. And the Bulldogs hoping to avoid any kind of infraction that would hand the ball back over to Lackawanna.
Junior, number 81.
Otherwise, it should be relatively good field position. Arnshawn ready to boot it away. He will take a bit of a Falcon bounce down to the 37.
First and 10 Bulldogs.
Not great, not bad. Kind of mediocre field position, if you will, at the 37 for Georgia Military College. Down by 1. I have not mentioned, need to, JUCO Rush. Check out the podcast, making its 2024 debut on Wednesday. Another reason to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It'll be available on YouTube, elsewhere too. But if you haven't already subscribed, please do. We like big, gaudy numbers on YouTube, and we're not there yet. I don't think we've reached the max. Okay, in fact, I know we haven't. First and 10. Hand off up the middle, and not a whole lot of running room. That is Phillips on the carry. Might have squeaked out a half yard.
Just about back to the line of scrimmage. Second and about maybe 9 for the Dogs.
We'll call it a 2nd and 9. Phillips stays in the backfield. In a 35-34 game. Those prior 1-point leads for Lackawanna have lasted about a minute. This has been a lengthy lead holding. Cooper flushed out of the pocket looking for a little running room, and he'll get to the 42.
Cooper up past the 40-yard line.
Not enough for the first. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 6. Well, time not a factor yet. But if you are the Bulldogs and you don't get some points out of this drive,
41.
and the Falcons chew up some time on their drive, whether they get points or not, then you're starting to put a lot of pressure on what could be the final drive of the ball game. Cooper got a receiver open. It is caught by Phillips. Into the end zone. Touchdown.
Keaton Phillips, number 8. Turned it on about the 20-yard line.
Perfect strike from Cooper. And it turns into a 59-yard touchdown strike.
Keaton Phillips.
And Georgia Military getting the lead back. $7:45 to play. Well, it looked like Cooper was trotting onto the field maybe to go for 2. Now he comes off and Phillips goes in, so it's a Wildcat formation for 2. Play clock, though, ticking down. It's at 3-2, and finally, snap of the football and snuffed out is Keenan Phillips. And if you wonder if, you can't help but wonder if maybe having to rush that a little bit with the play clock running out contributed to the failed 2-point conversion. .75 points in the game and still 7 minutes and 45 seconds left to play. Just a typical Falcon Bulldog football game. Bulldogs going for 2, trying to get back the missed Perez conversion on the first touchdown. And it will stay a 5-point game, as that is booted by Perez into the end zone. And it'll be brought out to the 25.
Touchback.
And Lackawanna will have the football.
Falcons will have a 1st and 10 on the 25-yard line.
Don't forget tonight, 7 o'clock, Point University and Allen University football here on JockJive. Next week, volleyball. And then a week from today, Georgia Military College football from New York. Congrats to Bayside Academy. We do Bayside Academy football on Fridays. Last night, they knocked off Flomaton. Second shutout of the year. Incomplete pass intended for Harper.
Intended for number 3, Daryl Harper. Corey Jones.
That'll bring up a 2nd down and 10.
Second and 10.
I mentioned a warm afternoon here in Georgia. This, despite the fact we are now 5 weeks into the year, halfway through the season practically. This one has been the warmest game of the year. We've actually had relatively mild weather. Nowhere for Edwards to go.
3 or 4 dogs in there. Aiden Bent is not the bottom of the pile as usual.
No gain brings up a 3rd and long. Big 3rd down play, but this has been kind of the Achilles heel for the Bulldogs this afternoon. The 3rd and long, the 4th and long. This is where the Bulldogs have either allowed a big enough play to pick up the first, or they've committed the penalty. Maybe more often than not. Hanging to pass. And that will be incomplete.
How about that Bulldog
Nobody there.
defense?
Harper wanting a pass interference.
Out there for the Dogs.
Didn't get it, and I don't see any flags. I do see an injured Bulldog.
Officials timeout for injury.
There's Tony appears to be
Does not look particularly
contact,
serious.
Number 31.
And that is good news for the Bulldogs, as Jarvis Coney comes to the sidelines. Punting situation. Well, it's almost a little deja vu, just about the same spot that Hartshorn kicked away from previously, and Bland standing about the same spot he was after the previous Lackawanna drive. That eventually turned into a 59-yard Chip Cooper to Phillips touchdown strike. Hartshorn boots it away. That is a good-looking kick.
Daryl Bland.
And Bland will call for fair catch and make it a 35. And probably a good thing he did. That looked like a kick that had some extra bounce to it.
35-yard line.
First down and 10 Bulldogs. Okay, I'm going to try not to say anything about how significant the drive is. I'm getting tired of hearing it. But it's like those other important ones. Big for both. Defensively for Lackawanna, offensively for Georgia Military. Gain of a yard. And that is Jones on the carry.
Jones on the carry, gain of 2. 2nd and 8.
Well, the Bulldogs want 2 things out of this drive. They want 6 or 3. Extend the game beyond a 1-score lead. 3 doesn't, by the way, because you still got the possibility of a 2-point conversion. Well, the Bulldogs a little upset that the play was stopped. Not upset at the flag. There was an obvious offsides, but they thought there was a free play that would give them options. Take the play, decline the penalty. The officials say no, it'll be a 5-yard mark-off.
2nd and 3 from the 43-yard line.
Nearing the 6-minute mark in a 40-35 contest. And again, Jones on the carry, and again, not a whole lot of running room. Lackawanna has got their full complement of 3 timeouts left. Third down and a few. Jones in the backfield beside Cooper. In and out of the hands of Johnson. And it is 4th down and a couple.
Cole Snyder back
Surely a fake would not be forthcoming. I would think no. I mean, I know the fake likes the element of surprise, and when all of the variables say no, that's what makes it effective, but no. Wow, again. Cole Snyder boots it out of the 7.
He's got a patent on those.
And that is where Lackawanna will take over with 5:22 to play in the football game. This is a big drive for Lackawanna.
What a kicker.
93 yards away from Painter.
Punter. What a punter.
But I do hate bringing up some painful past. But if you'll recall an Iowa Western game in which the Reavers were pinned back at the 1.
First down on the 7-yard line.
And all of a sudden they are inside Bulldog territory. And I want to think it was on a 3rd down. So for the Bulldogs, hoping that is a lesson learned. Hagan to pass. Incomplete.
Incomplete.
Intended for Hodges.
Michael Hodge. Jones on defense back there for the Dogs.
Incomplete pass, stops the clock, 5:18 to go. In a 5-point, one-score game. Hagan drops back, looks, fires over the middle, incomplete. And this time the pass intended for Harper.
Jones again on defense for the Dogs.
And here's that play again.
21.
The one that you need to stop. If you're Lackawanna, you don't have an option.
10.
You don't convert on third down, you got to kick it away. Not at that point in the game where you're going to go for it on fourth down, especially where you're currently situated on the field at the 7. So a big third down play. Hagan launching it. Over the shoulder was the catch made. There's a penalty flag. And there is going to be pass interference. And there again is that
Pass interference.
big infraction on a third and long,
15-yard
deep
penalty.
inside their own territory. So the Lackawanna drive stays alive. First and 10, football on the 22. And still life left in the Falcons with plenty of time to go. That is Harper who makes the catch, shoved out of bounds near the 24. Short gain, second and long.
Second down and about 8 for the Falcons.
And in addition to Lackawanna having their full complement of 3 timeouts remaining, also have the 2-minute timeout. That in college football, we're not calling it a 2-minute warning for some reason. Hagan again to pass. It is up in the air, but nobody nearby.
Third and 8.
Always thinking about the possibility of the pick on the deflection, but nobody around. And it'll bring up a third and 8. And here we go again. Another big play on third down. Last time it was third and long, there was pass interference. Hagan again to throw. He'll be sacked second time this afternoon.
98.
Big drop of Hagan.
Number 98.
And the Bulldog defense coming up big.
What a big play for Trent.
Okay, one more thing we got to guard against.
Good hold by the Bulldog defense.
Penalty on the punt. Bland standing in midfield.
Back receives the punt.
Hartshorn on the goal line. He will kick it away. Bland will call for the fair catch and make it at the 45.
Bland with the catch. We're going to start on our 45-yard line.
So the Bulldogs will take over first down and 10 and in much better position now to try to run the clock and score. I mean, those are 2 important components, but there again, you've got the 2-minute timeout coming. You've got 3 Lackawanna timeouts. They can stop the clock, and they can get the ball back with plenty of time left. So this is not where you can get completely conservative. Phillips running for the Wildcat. And he's going to pick up first if they give him his forward progress, and they do. Well, that's that big Bubba package. Phillips picking up the first. And the Bulldogs say, hey, that worked so well, let's try it again. Gain of 11. Phillips diving to the 41. And Lackawanna is going to call a timeout.
Second and 9 for the Dogs.
Second down and 9 coming up. 3:04 to play.
2-yard line.
Bulldogs by 5.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby, got me falling hard for you. And still, I felt this way before, you know it's true. And still, you got me more and more. Oh, you got me falling hard.
Second down 8, 3:04 to play. Still 2 Lackawanna timeouts. And the 2-minute timeout as well. 5-point lead Bulldogs.
Second and 8 for the Dogs from the 43.
And Phillips will continue to run for the Wildcat. On his feet at 40. And he will bang his way to the 35-ish.
Up to about the 35. Let's see where they spot it.
And in the process, stay in bounds, which means if you're Lackawanna, you either let time run off the clock or you use up another timeout.
We're on the 36-yard line. Third down and a couple of yards to go.
Well, there was a conversation going on the sidelines. And let's see what Ron Manchester, where he's headed after that conversation with the official. Apparently, something either said or done where the official was concerned. And an individual not dressed out, and I'm not necessarily saying they're even part of the football team. I don't know. But they've been cast aside, so to speak. Big burst up the middle, Phillips. He's got the first down.
25, but there's a couple of flags on the play.
There are flags, though, and let's see what the flags are about.
Penalties, one on each team. Encroachment, defense. Illegal shift, offense. Those penalties offset, replay, third down.
Offsetting infractions, replay of third down. And are you in 4-down territory? I would say yes. If you don't pick up the first, and you are the Bulldogs. Well, it is a first down. I don't see any penalty flags.
Good call, Rip. Good call.
And
Lackawanna.
Lackawanna will ask for time. 2:04 mark. So
Somebody get that guy in the white
they will
hat
have one more
shirt.
timeout. They will get the 2-minute timeout. The Bulldogs will have a 1st and 10 at the 32.
Georgia Sports Medicine Center is proud to serve our Central Georgia athletes. We offer Georgia's most comprehensive team of sports medicine fellowship-trained surgeons. The well-trained staff is committed to the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Ortho Georgia is excited to support student athletics by providing a free sports injury clinic in the fall on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. The staff at Ortho Georgia works together to customize your rehabilitation program to ensure a speedy return to your activity. Remember Ortho Georgia, your home for orthopedic excellence.
First down 10, Phillips.
Phillips on the carry.
Down to the 28-yard line, and that will get us to the 2-minute warning.
Timeout.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Well, a reminder that coming up tonight, 7 o'clock, more football. Allen University and Point University with a 7 o'clock kickoff. Then you got some volleyball next week. Bishop State, Coastal Alabama South on Wednesday. Then the Coyotes will host Bevel State on Friday. Friday, those Bevel State Bears will go to Bruton and take on another set of Coyotes, Coastal North. And then North on Saturday afternoon, taking on Pearl River. That is a week from today. And, of course, 1 week from today, Georgia Military taking road trip number, 2, 1? No, not 1, only 2. To New York City, Monroe University, 1 o'clock. We'll have the coverage for you here. Well, it is going to be the Keenan Phillips show here. As he will make his way down to the 27. There is a penalty, though, and it is offsides. It is charged to Lackawanna.
5-yard penalty still, 2nd down.
So very little gain turns into noticeably bigger on the gain. Compliments of the infraction. Phillips wrapped up near the
Phillips up past the
25.
Maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
And it is going to be a 3rd down and about 2 as Lackawanna has used their last timeout. So the Bulldogs with a couple of opportunities to pick up the 4th and basically in the football game. Lackawanna trying to stop the Bulldogs on the 2 plays and continue the game and give them a chance. Down by 5. A lot of scoring in a 75-point game. And we'll try to run through all of that before we get to the end of this one. A reminder, on YouTube, we talk with Rob Manchester at the end of the game, regardless of the outcome. Obviously, coach is hoping we'll be talking about a win. Big 3rd down. And if they don't convert, a bigger 4th down. Phillips right near the 27. He may be a tad shy. No ability to stop the clock for Lackawanna, but They have stopped Phillips and turned it into a 4th and short. This becomes a huge down. And I think Coach Rob Manchester is talking to the officials going, I am going to let that play clock tick down to about 1 or 2 and call a timeout. Well, let's see if we can get everybody in the picture. Yeah, there we go. You see Rob Manchester. You see the play clock. And there you saw the timeout with a single tick remaining
Timeout, GMC. Their second
on the
and a
play
half.
clock. Well, a good place to take a look at scoring in this one. 13:09 into the game, or actually just a couple of minutes in, at the 13:09 mark. Jones with a 28-yard touchdown run. The extra point kick fails. 6-0 Bulldogs. 11:35 to go in the first. Kinchin a 10-yard run. Extra point kick good. 13-zip Bulldogs. Lackawanna scores with 4:23 to go in the first. Hagan finds Edwards on a 7-yard strike. Extra point kick good. It is 13-7. We go into quarter number 2. And Edwards will score on a 2-yard touchdown run. The extra point kick puts Lackawanna up by 1, 14-13. 1 minute later, Phillips a 33-yard touchdown run. 20-14 Bulldogs, and that's where we stood at the half. As Phillips gets ready for the snap on a 4th and 1. Pick up the first, and the ball game's over. Snuff him out, and it might not be. It'll depend upon the forward progress. Did he get the first? Bulldogs say yes. Falcons say no. And it is all based upon the spot of the football. And the officials have said, bring on the chains.
Ladies and gentlemen,
There has not been a bigger measurement
I believe it's going to happen.
of a possible 10 yards.
It is. The chain gang is entering the field.
Than this
Give
one right
it up
here.
for the chain gang. We need a little help from the chain gang. Maybe a couple of inches.
Is it a first Bulldogs or first Lackawanna? And there's your answer.
First down.
By about 2/3
First
the
down,
length
Dogs.
of the football. First down.
Yes, one of the best chain gangs in the country right there. They're good. They're good. They know their stuff. They know their stuff.
And now for the Bulldogs. Couple of knees to the turf. And that should end it. And Cooper is back in to do just that. I don't think they're going to try to run anything. Take a chance at losing the football. And there is Cooper to turf. And he'll do that one more time. Scoring in the second half went this way, 12:30 to play. Cooper finds Smith on a 9-yard touchdown strike. Extra point good. 27-14 Bulldogs. Lackawanna comes right back. 12-13 to play in the third. Edwards a 40-yard touchdown run. Extra point kick good. And it is 27-21 Bulldogs. Lackawanna takes the lead. 7:06 to play in the third. On a Hagan to Harper 19-yard touchdown strike. The lead won. 5:56 to play in the third. And Jones on a 47-yard touchdown run. Kind of an oddball flea flicker. 34-28. Bulldogs. And then in the fourth, 13:04 to play. Malba, 7-yard touchdown strike from Hagan. 35-34 Lackawanna. But the Bulldogs would respond one more time. And that response came at the 7:45 mark. Cooper finds Phillips on a 59-yard touchdown pass play. An attempt to convert the two-pointer failed. And that's where we stood at the 7:45 mark, and that is where we stand at the end of the game. Georgia Military going to 4-1. Not hurting that number 7 ranking in the nation, Lackawanna. Losing 2 straight to 2 quality foes, Snow and Georgia Military. Next week it is off to New York, Monroe University and Georgia Military, and we will have that one for you at 1 o'clock. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And if you want to watch this game again, then you can subscribe to our premium channel. A conversation with Rob Manchester exclusively on YouTube. It'll happen in about 15 or 20 minutes. See you next week in New York. For all the folks with Georgia Military College and JockJive, I'm Robert Williamson. So long, everybody.